meeting a great success. Thank you. With that, may I now request our friends from the media to please leave the meeting hall so that the proceedings can thereafter continue.
All right, so continuing to get you the latest from the SCO summit. Remember, it is day 2, and a short while ago, we got you pictures of EAM Jaishankar welcoming all the foreign ministers. That was followed by opening remarks from the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who also went on to chart out the key points of, the SCO summit this time, as he very categorically said how India is really paving the way for the SCO that comprises of more than 40% of the world population, and the collective efforts that will really show the impact of what it has. He also went on to talk about how there is absolutely no justification for terrorism, and the SCO is collectively making efforts where India is playing a very active role when it comes to combating terrorism. He also went on to say that India has always stood for global challenges, and that was very, very visible, especially during the COVID situation, and how India really throttled its way through, not just to help itself, but also went on to help several countries across the globe to combat COVID. He also went on to say that the menace of terrorism continues unabated, and that is also one of the key issues of the SCO, where India is playing a very active role on that. He added that there can be no justification of terrorism, including cross-border terrorism, which, remember, is also going to figure in the 15 decisions that are to be taken in the SCO summit, that will primarily revolve around how to counter terrorism. It is also about regional stability. So we have to slip into a very short commercial break on that note, but we'll be back on the other side with the very latest from the SCO summit in Goa, where the foreign ministers are meeting.
तो एक हिसाब से आप सबका स्वागत है बुद्ध बनने के लिए। और जब उस अवस्था का अनुभव होता है तो आपके भीतर शांति ही होती है। भले आसपास कुछ भी गड़बड़ी हो जाए, भीतर की शांति जो है वो हिलती नहीं है। ऐसा क्या है जो भगवान गौतम बुद्ध उन्होंने अनुभव किया और हम नहीं कर पाए?
अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा, दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों।
चुनाव ये तय करने का चुनाव है कि अगले 5 साल तक मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में डबल इंजन सरकार कर्नाटक को आगे ले जाएगी या कांग्रेस की सरकार कर्नाटक को पीछे ले जाएगी।
गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों। कमीशन खाने वाली कांग्रेस कर्नाटका को दशकों पीछे ले जाकर गड्ढे में गाड़ देगी। ई बारियां निर्धारा बहुमत बीजेपी सरकारा। इस बार कर्नाटका ने पूर्ण बहुमत वाली बीजेपी की स्थिर सरकार बनाने का निर्णय कर लिया है। अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से
And you're watching, viewers, live in breaking on Republic. Well, these are live visuals from the day of this day 2 of the SCO summit underway in Goa, the two-day meeting of foreign ministers of the Shanghai Co-operation Organisation, the SCO. The meet, which began yesterday, saw huge success with a bilateral between India and China already held. On the first day, India's External Affairs Minister held meetings with his many counterparts. He also met SCO Secretary General Zhang Ming and appreciated his support for India's SCO presidency and added that it is driven by commitment to secure the SCO. A short while back, External Affairs Minister, who is hosting this entire event, also spoke. Let's listen in once again to what he said.
Excellencies, while the world was engaged in facing COVID and its consequences, the menace of terrorism continues unabated. Taking our eyes off this menace would be detrimental to our security interests. We firmly believe that there can be no justification for terrorism and it must be stopped in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism. The channel of finances for terrorist activities must be seized and blocked without distinction. Members need not be reminded that combating terrorism is one of the original mandates of the SCO. The unfolding situation in Afghanistan remains at the center of our attention. Our efforts should be directed towards the welfare of the Afghan people. Our immediate priorities include providing humanitarian assistance, ensuring a truly inclusive and representative government, combating terrorism and drug trafficking, and preserving the rights of women, children, and minorities.
Mr. S. Jaishankar there. More breaking news coming in from Goa. India calls out terror sponsor Pakistan, says that nothing justifies terror. And Suesha joining us now to give us more on this, on the major takeaways of what the External Affairs Minister said. Suesha, this is Rukma here. A very good morning to you once again. When we talk about what the External Affairs Minister said, as you said earlier this morning when we spoke, a focus on terror, the biggest concern of the world nowadays, again stressed on by the External Affairs Minister. Take our viewers through the major takeaways.
Oh yes, absolutely, Rukman. Let's understand that this has figured in the opening remarks of External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, because India is very clear on its position when it comes to combating terrorism, and every step and every measure that India is taking towards that resolve. And even when it comes to the SCO grouping, let me also tell you that the 15 decisions that need to be taken, which will be an outcome of this particular congregation of the SCO Foreign Ministers meet, that are also centered around combating terrorism, boosting connectivity and regional prosperity. So that is a direct message that EAM Jaishankar puts out when he says that there is absolutely no justification for those who sponsor and encourage terror and push terrorism. And India is very clear that we are, fighting very hard towards combating terrorism, and it is a collective origin of the SCO. Remember, India is really paving the way and marking that as one of the key focuses of the SCO, where he also went on to say that the menace of terrorism continues unabated and combating terrorism is one of the original mandates of SCO, saying that we've initiated an unprecedented engagement, and that is what the SCO is centered around. Let's also understand, Rukma, why this is particularly important, because when it comes to the Pakistan delegation marking an in-person presence for the foreign ministers meet, and a lot of questions around whether there would be a bilateral between India and Pakistan, while Pakistan had to cater to its audience and said what they had to amid all that criticism. India had made its position very clear that a nation that engages in encouraging, sponsoring and continuing with cross-border terrorism, we cannot have talks with such a nation. The day they honor their word on that, at some stage, then probably a thought can be given. So the very fact that how India is looking at, combating terrorism and paving the way for that is very, very evident in the opening remarks by External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, where let's also understand that the whole idea and motto, as India is hosting the SCO summit and the big event that is to take place, where all the heads of states will also be present on the 3rd and 4th of July in the national capital, is secure SCO. It is security, economy, connectivity, unity, respect and environment, but it is secure SCO.
Right.
So it is about regional prosperity, it is about stability.
I'll be coming back to you. I'll just be coming back to you, but at this point I'm joined by Professor Madhav Nalapat, a strategic analyst, and also Colonel RSN Singh, retired, and to discuss more on India's statements, the External Affairs Minister's statements. Coming to you first of all, Professor Nalapat, when we talk about this particular SCO summit, very significant, wouldn't you agree, from India's point of view, an opportunity despite all the challenges. And our neighbors both have their representatives here, Bilawal Bhutto as well as Qin Gang. So, well, we'd like you to put into perspective and what you feel are the major highlights of what External Affairs Minister said today. It's not a new message, but it's a reiteration and emphasis on the need to combat terror, to fight terror at all costs. It's over to you, Professor Nalapat.
Well, I'd like to say, first of all, I'm rather disappointed that Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov, of all the 15 members of the SCO, was forced by the Chinese side to also meet Bilawal Bhutto. The fact is that the Russians know very well the harm that Pakistan has done in Russia and the harm that Pakistani networks are still doing inside Russia. But the sad truth is that ever since the Ukraine conflict began and the Western response to Russia, the Russians are now forced to basically do what the Chinese want them to do. And this is why Lavrov has frankly was forced to meet Bilawal Bhutto and in a way sacrifice a lot of the goodwill, a lot of the public goodwill that Russia has in India. He has made that sacrifice on the directions of the Chinese side. Now, having said that, I'd like to say Minister Jaishankar has been very forthright. One, India has been very hospitable. All the delegations have been treated equally, and India has not allowed bilateral issues to cloud a multilateral forum. I think that's a very, very welcome development. But secondly, India is very, very clear on the fact that global terror is a global problem. And there cannot be any good terrorist or bad terrorist. In the old days, there was good terrorism for the United States and bad terrorism. Today, in a few hours' time, you're going to see the Chinese Foreign Minister put his arm around the shoulders of Bilawal Bhutto, who is fully informed as to what networks run from Pakistan, run from the military, not fully informed, but partially informed on the military networks, are doing in India. The Chinese also know that. And despite that, what is happening is that China is literally going arm in arm with Pakistan and proving right those analysts who had long ago warned of this kind of a Sino-Pakistan alliance. Into the Chinese are now using Pakistan the same way as the Americans used Pakistan in the first Cold War. China is using Pakistan in this Cold War to try and damage India. And this is happening in plain sight. The Chinese Foreign Minister has time only for about a day in India, but 3 days in Pakistan. Why? Because they'll certainly be discovering and a lot of means by which they can put pressure on India, and they will certainly be discussing that. That will be a very big subject of discussion between these two individuals. So let's be very real about the SCO summit. There are countries there that are enemies of India. There are countries there that are friendly to India but which are forced to toe the line of certain enemy countries. At the same time, it is good to be a part of SCO because India can make its stand heard. And I think this comment that Minister Jaishankar has made will resonate in Central Asia. Central Asia is facing both Wahhabi terrorism and an effort by China to grab its resources at minimum cost and basically exploit Central Asia. India is there as a friend of Central Asia, of long-standing, long cultural association. And from that point of view, I think this is a message that the Central Asians in particular will really welcome. So I would again like to say it's very good that we're having this SCO meeting. It's very good that all the members are being invited and treated in a very polite way as befits Indian custom and Indian tradition. At the same time, hard truths are being expressed by Minister Jaishankar and nothing is being held back. I think between the lines, everybody in that meeting can understand what Minister Jaishankar is talking about. And I'd like to have seen the faces of the Chinese and Pakistan delegations looking at each other, because sadly, they are accomplices in the networks that are operating in India, and they are accomplices for the reason that China does not want India to go anywhere near China in terms of growth of the national resilience.
Right, sir. Many thanks, Professor Nalapat. Time now for a short break.
तो एक हिसाब से आप सबका स्वागत है बुद्ध बनने के लिए। और जब उस अवस्था का अनुभव होता है तो आपके भीतर शांति ही होती है। भले आसपास कुछ भी गड़बड़ी हो जाए, भीतर की शांति जो है वो हिलती नहीं है। ऐसा क्या है जो भगवान गौतम बुद्ध उन्होंने अनुभव किया और हम नहीं कर पाए?
ये चुनाव ये तय करने का चुनाव है कि अगले 5 साल तक मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में डबल इंजन सरकार कर्नाटक को आगे ले जाएगी या कांग्रेस की सरकार कर्नाटक को पीछे ले जाएगी।
कमीशन खाने वाली कांग्रेस कर्नाटका को दशकों पीछे ले जाकर गड्ढे में गाड़ देगी। ई बारियां निर्धारा बहुमत बीजेपी सरकारा। इस बार कर्नाटका ने पूर्ण बहुमत वाली बीजेपी की स्थिर सरकार बनाने का निर्णय कर लिया है। अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं।
BJP goes all out as campaigning enters final stage. Prime Minister set to address mega rallies today.
The organization, it is not under the subject of the state government. It is only the power is with the union government. So regarding that aspect, already Modi has clarified everything. I don't want to intervene in that issue.
Senior Congress leader Jagdish Shettar speaks exclusively to Republic TV, says state government has no right to ban any groups. Key NCP meet likely to take place today. Meanwhile, pro-Sharad Pawar posters seen outside NCP office. Nationalist Congress Party is set to choose next Chief Ajit Pawar and Supriya Sule front runners. With Sergei Lavrov and Qin Gang in attendance, all eyes as day 2 of the big SCO meeting kicks off in Goa. Welcome once again to this edition of Live and Breaking. Well, the two-day meeting of foreign ministers of the Shanghai Co-operation Organisation, the SCO members, enters day 2. The meet, which began yesterday, was a huge success. A short while back, External Affairs Minister, who is chairing the meet, gave out the keynote address welcoming the excellencies, the foreign ministers of all the countries in attendance. Let's listen in to what he said in his statement.
Excellencies, while the world was engaged in facing COVID and its consequences, the menace of terrorism continues unabated. Taking our eyes off this menace would be detrimental to our security interests. We firmly believe that there can be no justification for terrorism and it must be stopped in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism. The channel of finances for terrorist activities must be seized and blocked without distinction. Members need not be reminded that combating terrorism is one of the original mandates of the SCO. The unfolding situation in Afghanistan remains at the center of our attention. Our efforts should be directed towards the welfare of the Afghan people. Our immediate priorities include providing humanitarian assistance, ensuring a truly inclusive and representative government, combating terrorism and drug trafficking, and preserving the rights of women, children, and minorities.
And joining me now is my colleague Suesha from the ground there in Goa, where the big SCO meeting is underway. Suesha, what's happening now? Also, a brief gist of what the External Affairs Minister, the main points that he stressed on in his opening remarks.
Oh yes, absolutely. Rukma, can't get clearer than that, because this is the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who in his opening remarks only makes India's point very, very clear when it comes to combating terrorism and the initiative that India takes towards it, because this is the resolve that the Modi government has been very, very serious about. And let's also understand how India is the host country, and while all the foreign ministers of the SCO member countries are in attendance, the opening remarks by the External Affairs Minister, where he says that there is absolutely no justification to terrorism, and when it comes to fighting terrorism, how India is taking an active role, and that is the very agenda for the SCO summit, because let's also understand it is Pakistan in attendance, rather I would say in-person attendance after 11 years, where their defense minister also did not attend the defense minister's SCO meet, and he was rather there virtually, but it is Pakistan Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto who is here, and while there were a lot of talks around whether there would be a bilateral between the two nations, that was the very position taken by External Affairs Minister Jaishankar when the same question was asked to him after Pakistan had been sent a formal invite, and that invite had been accepted, of whether there were any likely possibilities of a bilateral. And this was soon after the Poonch terror attack, where a clear park link was drawn to it, and EAM Jaishankar had made his position very clear that a nation that engages in sponsoring and encouraging terrorism and engages in cross-border terrorism, we cannot have talks with such a nation. So there you see India at the SCO foreign ministers meet, where we are hosting, and after those very successful bilaterals with China and Russia yesterday, India calling out Pakistan directly in the presence of Pak Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto, who is in attendance with the entire Pakistan delegation, where India is exposing the menace of terror, and also
Suresh,
calling
I'll be back
out
with you just now, but right now on the phone line I have Colonel RSN Singh. Colonel Singh, I'd like your interpretation of the events so far, and how far you feel that India has been able to take advantage of this opportunity to host the SCO meet to set the narrative despite so many challenges.
See, the main objective of SCO is that is Shanghai Co-operation Organization, is to establish peace in the region and eventually global peace. Rest everything follows. And if we are striving for peace, you cannot ignore terrorism, because the Afghanistan-Pak region is the epicenter of terrorism. Now, from this epicenter, India is affected by, the groups like, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed. The Central Asian states of late have been, are being impacted by the Islamic State of Khorasan, because they have, primarily, Uzbeks and Tajiks in their cadres, and they are carrying out attacks on, Central Asian interests. They are even targeting the Central Asian, countries on the borders. So, and then there is the Taliban. Now, this is the, jihadi setup in the Af-Pak region, and various countries are using various jihadi groups as vectors. For example, the Chinese are not actually, they're not confident that Pakistan regime or the Taliban regime will be able to protect their interests. So they are investing in Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba. Similarly, extra-regional powers are investing in Islamic State of Khorasan. So whatever, as far as jihadi terrorism is concerned, that is of pernicious concern to India, because remember, the first maritime case of jihadi maritime terrorism happened was in India by way of 26/11. So that is why the primary concern, the biggest imperative for this SCO foreign ministers meet, which will eventually lead to a summit meet, is terrorism. And unless this is addressed, There can be no economic, we cannot enjoy the fruits of economic cooperation. This organization has huge potential. If there was peace and tranquility in the region, that is in a terrorism-free environment, then, the sky is the limit. Why? We could have, the SCO can even, think of its own currency. But this is all predicated on a peaceful, peaceful environment. And India is the worst impacted
Right.
as far as jihadi terrorism is concerned.
Right.
Anything?
Right, Colonel Singh, many thanks for sharing your thoughts with us, and thanks Suesha as well. We'll be coming to you later for more updates. Meanwhile, there's more breaking news coming in now. It's the biggest breaking story outside of Karnataka coming in from Maharashtra. The crucial NCP meet that comes just after the stepping down, that shock announcement of NCP chief Sharad Pawar. And to know the latest, I go across to my colleague Alisha. Alisha, what's happening? Also, some more perspective. Because there's a lot of buzz right now about what Ajit Pawar wants, about his political ambitions, then about whether he is still a contender in the race, or has Sharad Pawar just passed on the baton, or will he continue because party workers want him to? Over to you.
Rukma, well, of course, it was many of the speculation, and specifically who will take over, who will be the successor of Sharad Pawar. Because Sharad Pawar on Tuesday, who has resigned as the NCP chief, and there are several protests that has been erupting, whether it is YB Chavan, and today, right outside NCP office, where NCP workers have been protesting, and they are continuously requesting Sharad Pawar to take back his resignation, and he should continue as the chief of the NCP party. So right now we are showing the visuals, and also there are a committee meeting, an important committee meeting which is happening in some time from now, and we know there are some of the decision will be taken, but several proposal has also been given by NCP leaders. Several proposal has been given to the committee members, stating that they should reject the resignation of Sharad Pawar. I'm also joined with NCP spokesperson Mahesh Tapse. Will speak to him. Sir, it's a very crucial meeting today, where the committee is to decide the new phase of the NCP chief. But there are proposals that has also been given to committee members, stating that they should reject the resignation of.
I don't think any new phase should be decided at this point of time. The cadre is not prepared to accept anybody other than Mr. Pawar himself. We all spokespersons have given a written resolution to the honorable members of this committee that Pawar Saab's resignation should be not accepted, and he should take the reins of the party back in his hand, at least for the next couple of years.
But even yesterday, while speaking to the workers, Sharad Pawar has mentioned that no need to protest henceforth. So there could be possibility, whether the fact there could be decision that itself will be taken by Sharad.
We are a party organization who believes in inner party democracy, and we have every right to accept or to protest against any kind of resolution that has been moved by the party. All the party workers, not only the leaders, but even the district leaders have a very personal family bond with Pawar Saab. In fact, I told you yesterday also that even our homely matters, our personal matters regarding our personal self, we discussed with our leader Pawar Saab. And Pawar Saab, in this decision that he has made, he has absolutely kept us aside, and this has come like a big shock to all of us. And we are in no mood to accept the resignation of Pawar Saab. Hence, we have requested him time and again. We have seen that last 72 hours the people have been sitting on dharna at YB Chavan Center. Today, when the committee is meeting, you see a huge gathering at the NCP office, which is hell-bound to impress upon the committee not to accept the resignation of Pawar Saab.
I'll continue. I'll ask my video journalist to show you the visuals outside NCP office, but I'll keep speaking to you, Mahesh Tapse. Can you even talk to us about if the committee decides that there will be a new phase, and that has also been agreed by Sharad Pawar itself. So what will be the further step?
As of now, I don't think that nobody is in the mindset to propose any new name. Nobody is in a mindset to accept any new name other than Mr. Pawar Saab himself. And hence, I feel that the committee understands the sentiments of the Karyakartas over here. and they will adhere to the sentiments of the Karyakartas.
Earlier, Sharad Pawar itself was saying that the decision that he has taken is for the future of the party. The new phase, the party members should give another chance.
Yes, but at the moment we are just 1 year away from Lok Sabha and almost equal amount of time away from the Vidhan Sabha. In the next couple of days, anything regarding Maharashtra legislature or the current dispensation can happen. In that case, an experienced person like Mr. Pawar Sahab will be in a much better position to guide the entire MBA coalition back into the government. You know, without Mr. Pawar Sahab has been the architect of the MBA coalition, and I think without him being in the main, controlling the main reins of the MBA, there might be some confusion. I don't say there will be a slippage of the partners, but there will be little confusion, and hence Mr. Pawar is a unifying factor, a binding factor, not only for the MBA but also for the UPA at the national level. Lot of leaders across across various parties look towards Mr. Pawar Sahab for guidance on political futures.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. I'll just continue showing you the visuals that is happening right outside NCP office. Very crucial meeting that is going to happen. It's a 16-member committee member that has been formed by Sharad Pawar itself, and this is right after the decision has been taken by Sharad Pawar to step down as the NCP chief. There are several protests, and not only in Mumbai but across Maharashtra that we have been seeing, that we have been witnessing. We even heard from the many senior leaders stating that Sharad Pawar, the decision that has been taken has been discussed by any of the leaders. Any of the senior leaders have not been discussed, and this decision will not be acceptable. By the leaders is what has been said, and even the resolution has already been given to them. We'll also try speaking to other workers who are present here. We'll try speaking to them, but yes, as we heard Mahesh Tapse itself, they're saying we are not ready to see anyone but only Sharad Pawar as the face of the NCP. So we have been showing you the visuals at one side when NCP committee is been doing the meeting, but we'll also speak to some of them. क्या आज एक इम्पोर्टेंट मीटिंग देखी जा रही है, और ये मीटिंग में ये कमेटी जो है वो एनसीपी अध्यक्ष के एक नया चेहरे के लिए ये कमेटी बैठाई
नहीं, ये अपना शरद पवार जी जो साहब हमारे जो अध्यक्ष है वो जो रिजाइन किए हैं उनको वापस अध्यक्ष पद के लिए हमारी मांगनी है कि हमको वही पवार साहब ही चाहिए। जो देश की स्थिति इस तरह चल रही है क्या उनकी ज़रूरत है अभी।
This is the sentiment of the people who have been standing here, and we have been seeing since 4 days where they have been continuously protesting and clearly demanding that Sharad Pawar should take back his resignation. He should continue as the chief of the NCP. So which is why when we have been continuously witnessing that the people are here standing outside. We'll speak to more people here. सर, आज की मीटिंग काफ़ी अहम देखे जा रही है। एक तरफ आप लोग ये मांग कर रहे हैं कि शरद पवार अपना रेजिग्नेशन वापस ले, वहीं पर जो कमेटी बैठाई गई है, जो मीटिंग होने वाली है, वो नए अध्यक्ष के लिए
नहीं, वैसा अभी तक कोई तय नहीं हुआ। नया अध्यक्ष के लिए जो है आज निर्णय बताएंगे साहब जी कि अध्यक्ष बनने वाला है या नहीं बनने वाला।
एक तरफ शरद पवार ये कह चुके हैं कि पार्टी के हित के लिए ये निर्णय लिया गया था उनकी ओर से, तो क्या नए अध्यक्ष का चुनाव अगर आज होता है और कोई एक नया फेस अगर आज डिक्लेयर करते हैं तो क्या उसको एक्सेप्ट किया जाएगा?
देखो कैसा है कि उस हिसाब से साहब ने ऐसा ये नहीं किया है कि भाई आज साहब ने खाली बोले साहब कि भाई मैं अभी मेरे उम्र के हिसाब से मैं अभी ये कर रहा हूँ करके, लेकिन साहब ने रेजिग्नेशन ऐसा दिया नहीं है। बात कार्यकर्ता के साथ में ये बोल के रखे, इसका निर्णय आज होने वाला है। आज देखो क्या होता है, उस हिसाब से अपने कार्यकर्ता उस हिसाब से जुड़े हुए हैं। हर नेता जो है पवार साहब से जुड़ा हुआ है, उनके दिल से उनके बातों से ये है, इसके लिए उनके ऊपर प्यार करने वाले हैं। उस हिसाब से जो है निर्णय आज देने वाले हैं, ताकि साहब भी बोले कि भाई कोई उपोषण ना करे, कोई रास्ता रोको ना करे, ना कोई दंगल करे। उस हिसाब से साहब अपने हिसाब से उस हिसाब से अपना रिजिग्नेशन देगा नहीं देंगे वो आज तय होंगे।
So all eyes on the committee member as well, because we are expecting right after this meeting there could be a press conference and official announcement to be made. As of now, Sharad Pawar, who will be in YB Chavan, and later he is going to reach to the NCP office. Whether the fact the committee will decide. Again, I'll just go to the visuals that outside NCP office, and we have been hearing that continuously slogans that has been made. The slogans is Sharad Pawar should take back his resignation is the only request, is the only demand that has been made by the leaders and the workers right outside the NCP office, where the crucial meeting of the committee is been happening. And as we know that Praful Patel, Jayant Patil, Anil Deshmukh, Jitendra Awad and all the senior leaders of the NCP who are the member of this committee that is formed by Sharad Pawar itself are present inside, and the meeting is going to happen. So as I mentioned that there could be a press conference, an official announcement that is to be made. We'll also speak to more people who have come from the different district as well. क्या मांगे आपकी है? आज एक मीटिंग होगी, क्या मांगे आप लोगों की है? आज काफी अहम मीटिंग है और शरद पवार जी जो कि ऑलरेडी रिजाइन कर चुके हैं उनकी जगह पर लेकर आते हैं।
शरद पवार जी साहब ने जो निर्णय लिया है, वो अचानकपणे जो निर्णय लिया है, वो महाराष्ट्र के राजनीतिक लोग, पार्टी के लोग और महाराष्ट्र के तमाम ये सांप्रदायिक लोगों को जच नहीं रहा है। इसलिए साहब ने बहुत लोगों को बहुत ढंग से मदद किया है। अब ये कुछ दिन साहब ने रुकना चाहिए और 2-3 साल के अंदर लोकसभा, विधानसभा का या राज्यसभा का उनका जो टर्म है वो खत्म होने के बाद साहब ने निर्णय लेना चाहिए। ऐसी सारी लोगों की मांग है। सांप्रदाय के लोग महाराष्ट्र, नागपुर, खानदेश, रायगढ़ से लोग सब लोग आ रहे हैं। ये यहाँ पे स्थानिक थोड़े लोग हैं, बाहर पुलिस ने लोग वहाँ पर रुका के रखा है। यही मांग है कि साहब को मनाने के लिए ये हमने भजन का सामूहिक आयोजन किया है।
So these are the people, the sentiment of the people, of the workers of the NCP clearly demanding that Sharad Pawar left with no option but to take back his resignation. It's been continuously and we have been seeing that people across Maharashtra is reaching here at the NCP office. I'll just go to the visuals and I would like to hear from my director because there were some of the instructions that I could not be able to hear because of the chaos that has been happening and the drama that we have been seeing outside NCP office. But yes, what we have been so as we have been witnessing that there are NCP workers who are still protesting and requesting Sharad Pawar to take back his resignation. We'll also go to some reaction that has been coming on the same story and we'll give you more update on it. But first listen to some reactions.
विचार किया, विचार विमर्श के बाद हम इस फैसले पर आए हैं कि महाराष्ट्र के हो या देश के जो राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस के नेता और कार्यकर्ता, ये सब लोग जो है कहते हैं कि पवार साहब ही अध्यक्ष रहने चाहिए। इसलिए कोशिश करने के बाद भी कोई पर्याय हमारे सामने नहीं है और इसलिए हम वही प्रस्ताव मंजूर करेंगे कि पवार साहब ही राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पार्टी के अध्यक्ष पद पर बना रहे। लोग जो है पवार साहब के सिवा मानने के लिए तैयार नहीं है, हम भी नहीं तैयार हैं। हम तो पहले से बोल रहे हैं कि पवार साहब आप इस्तीफा मत दो। अभी तो सारे आप जो है देश भर के लोग यहाँ आते हैं, महाराष्ट्र के जो है देखो हमारे सारे कार्यकर्ता आए हैं। अभी क्या करें, पवार साहब को मानना पड़ेगा। चलिए अब क्या, अभी नहीं मानेंगे तो घर के सामने हम शर्त करेंगे और क्या।
I'm being joined by Mr. PC Chako, who is in fact arrived out here at NCP State Office. He's one of the member of a committee who will decide the future party chief of NCP. Sir, what are the thought process? What is going behind you? Inside the members and the committee members, what is going right now, and who could be the next possible party chief?
The question of future party chief does not arise. That discussion is not here in this committee. This committee is deciding only one thing, that is, we are going to request Sharad Pawar ji to withdraw his resignation. There is no other agenda, no other discussion or question.
Sharad Pawar has already made it clear that he will not, withdraw his resignation.
I have no idea.
But is there any options that we are looking forward? Are we looking out for Supriya Sule or in case Praful Patel?
I have told you very clearly that there is no other agenda. There is only one agenda. This committee unanimously will request him to withdraw the resignation.
आज मीटिंग तो होने दो।
बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट मीटिंग है, किस तरीके से देखते हैं इस मीटिंग को, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं पर सभी लोग जो है शरद पवार को ही अपना
बनवाएंगे
तो आज भी पवार साहेबांनी राजीनामा मागे घ्यावा काय
त्यांना विनंती करू आम्ही पुन्हा
पवार साहेबांनी जर राजीनामा तरी मागे नाही घेतला तर
हा विनंती करू ना
पण कार्याध्यक्ष सुप्रिया सुळे होतील हा प्रस्ताव मान्य असेल का?
विनंती करू
बस सभी की ये मांगे है कि शरद पवार ही अध्यक्ष पर कायम रहे, क्या यही आज निर्णय दिया जाएगा, यही डिस्कस किया जाएगा?
पता नहीं, अभी मीटिंग तो उसी के लिए है, बाकी लोगों के सभी के मांग है कि शरद पवार साहब रहना चाहिए।
And breaking news coming in on this very story. Well, just a short while, we were just showing you those reactions, the mood outside the NCP office, among the members, among the cadre. Over to my colleague Alisha, who's joining us there from the ground and who can give us in detail the exact details of what's happening. Alisha, we believe the committee has rejected his resignation. Clearly an expected move.
Well, yes, the breaking news that we are getting in from the sources that the committee has rejected the resignation that has been given by Sharad Pawar as the NCP chief, and the press conference official announcement is to be made. But a huge drama that we have been witnessing at this point of time outside the NCP office, that there are people, and we can also see that some of the workers who have also poured kerosene is what we have been witnessing at this point of time, and the other workers. So he has put a petrol on him is what the people have been saying. So that is the visual that we have been witnessing at this point of time right outside the NCP office. As we have been seeing that there are continuously demand, and they are very much adamant of the decision, clearly stating that Sharad Pawar should reconsider and take back his resignation. Sharad Pawar, who left with nothing, but he has to take back his resignation and continue as the NCP chief. So now what we know that the committee, the 18-member committee that has been formed by Sharad Pawar itself, there was a meeting. The senior NCP leaders who were present right in the meeting, including Praful Patel, Jayant Patil, Anil Deshmukh, Jitendra Awar, Chhagan Bhujbal, Hasan Mushrif, and other senior NCP leaders. The committee that was formed, they have rejected the resignation of Sharad Pawar. So there could be an official announcement that is to be made in some time from now, where we could know the exact details of the committee as well, because this is the meeting where this is the press conference that is going to happen, where all the senior NCP leaders is going to be present in the same meeting, and the final decision will be taken. But what we know at this point of time, that the committee has rejected the resignation of Sharad Pawar, and what we have been seeing at this point of time, it's a massive drama outside NCP office, and the workers who are continuously saying that Sharad Pawar has to take back his resignation. We cannot see anyone else but only Sharad Pawar as the leader. So now, as we know that the committee has rejected the resignation of Sharad Pawar, so what will be the further decision?
We are very glad that the committee has rejected his resignation. I think it has to be formally announced in the press conference, so we are waiting for that.
So is it what you say that Sharad Pawar now has to take back his resignation? And
100% since last 3 days, all the Karyakartas across Maharashtra have been requesting him to reconsider his decision and take back his resignation. We all want to see him as National President of Nationalist Congress Party.
But as we also seeing, there are workers who have been protesting and continuously asking. Also, some of the people have poured kerosene on him. So such kind of, is this something of pressure?
The feeling of Karyakartas is very intense. We cannot see NCP without Sharad Pawar, and he has to stay as the National President of NCP.
This is the feeling and the sentiment of the NCP workers, clearly saying we cannot see anyone. I'll just ask my video journalist Neeraj to show you the visuals of outside NCP, and there could be any time from now an official announcement that is to be made, the decision that is being taken by committee, because committee has rejected the resignation of Sharad Pawar, and where he has to remain as the chief of the NCP is what we know. But the visual that we have been witnessing, the visual that we have been seeing from outside NCP office where the huge drama that has been erupted, and some of where the workers are protesting and they are clearly and adamant over the decision. They are saying that we cannot see anyone, and even heard from many of the leaders of the NCP, very senior leaders, before going to the meeting. Also the members of the committee clearly stated that the proposal has been given to us, the decision that the committee has to take, but also it is Sharad Pawar who is going to remain as the chief. So that is something of pressure that has to be mounted on Sharad Pawar at this point of time, where he has to take back his resignation and continue as the chief of the NCP. But there could be an official announcement, because what we know that the committee which has rejected the resignation of Sharad Pawar, and there will be an official announcement that to be made in some time from now.
All right, so pictures on your screen are coming to you from the NCP office in Mumbai. You can see huge crowds gathering over there. Do remember that this is what is happening after the shock resignation of Sharad Pawar. He was at a book launch when he decided to announce that he will no longer be the president of the NCP. Thereafter, of course, there appears to be a succession battle within the NCP as well. And a committee has been formed to decide upon who will be the next chief of the NCP. The top runners, of course, are Ajit Pawar, his nephew, and his daughter Supriya Sule. Right now, there are large numbers of people outside the NCP's office. A large number of workers, of course, do want Sharad Pawar to take his resignation back. But that does seem pretty unlikely at this point in time. Alicia is joining us right now. Alicia, we've been hearing about the fact that there could perhaps be a division of responsibilities between the two top contenders, in terms of the fact that Supriya Sule could get, the centre's affairs since she's an MP, and Ajit Pawar could be allowed to focus on Maharashtra.
Well, yes, Nupur, we know that there was some of the proposal that has been given even from the members, because the statement that was given by Ajit Pawar itself clearly stating that the new face should get a chance, and the decision has been taken by Sharad Pawar is something on his looking at his age and the experience, of course, where Sharad Pawar is going to continue, and he will give guidance and support to the NCP. But now what we have been seeing that since the time Sharad Pawar in a book launch where he has announced his retirement, he says that he will not continue as the NCP chief, and he was very much adamant towards his decision as well, because even yesterday it's been 3 days where the workers who were continuously protesting, first in YB Chavan, because there is when Sharad Pawar itself was present in the meeting. He was continuously meeting the leaders of the NCP, and not only from the Maharashtra, but we know that there are several calls that has also been made to Sharad Pawar from the other state leader as well, including MK Stalin, and there are other leaders who called Sharad Pawar and requested him to take back his resignation, looking at the situation in Mumbai, because we have been seeing visuals right outside the NCP office where anytime from now there could be the possibility of the press conference, because committee has clearly rejected the proposal, the resignation of Sharad Pawar, and official announcement to be made. But more important, what we have been seeing at this point of time, because since the time Sharad Pawar has given a resignation, there was many of the speculation, and specifically there were also the decision that is to be taken by senior leaders. Some proposal, some information that has been given to us by our sources that there were also a decision over that Supriya Sule can be given a national affair as well as Ajit Pawar can give a state affair, is what we know. But till now there is no official has been taken, no decision has been taken. And even yesterday, Sharad Pawar, who clearly stated that at this point of time where he cannot decide over this, today on the 5th of May he will decide, and he will take the feelings and the sentiment of the workers into consideration, and he will decide over it. So this is when the workers who've been leaving this location while they were protesting continuously, only on one assurance from the Sharad Pawar that Sharad Pawar may reconsider his decision. But what today we know, there are several proposals
of Karnataka. At the onset, I would like to give thanks to all the citizens who contributed towards drafting of the manifesto. Over 6 lakh suggestions were given to the Bharatiya Janata Party. 250 plus members of various sectors as experts have contributed to this manifesto. A truly democratized engagement with the citizen of building a stronger state so that the state may lead the building of New India. I am extremely grateful that the manifesto speaks about the Poshane scheme, wherein every BPL household will be provided with half-liter Nandini milk every day and 5 kg Shri Anna through monthly ration kits. Many amongst you in the media who have seen our manifesto would know that in the state of Karnataka, 54 lakh farmers have benefited from PM Kisan and PM Kisan Karnataka, where financial assistance of up to 10,000 rupees has been given. This includes female farmers of Karnataka. I'm extremely happy to share that 10,000 rupees per hectare incentives to minor millet growers has been given in the state of Karnataka, which has also benefited women in the sector of agriculture. That women are a substantial part of the dairy industry is well known. And that is why I am grateful that while the achievement of the Bharatiya Janata Party is transference of over 1,644 crores as incentives to over 8,95,000 dairy farmers through DBT. In the manifesto, we promise increase of incentive to be provided to dairy farmers to 7 rupees per litre. This will greatly benefit women in the dairy sector. I'm extremely pleased to share that in our manifesto, the Bharatiya Janata Party promises free transport for agricultural, horticultural and dairy products up to 50 kgs from our villages to urban markets. As you know, not only will this benefit women in the dairy sector, but also women in the agro-processing segment, especially those women who work under the aegis of self-help groups. As you know, Prime Minister Modi's promise of ensuring that every poor family has a roof over its head is a promise that is also reflected in the manifesto for the state of Karnataka. I am happy to share that the Bharatiya Janata Party has promised an expansion of the housing scheme wherein 5 lakh houses for the urban poor will be constructed. Undoubtedly, women in such families will be the beneficiaries. Health and nutrition is a priority for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that is why through the efforts of the Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Yojana, today in the state of Karnataka, 1,38 lakh people are covered under the Ayushman Bharat Yojana that gives medical support up to 5 lakh rupees. I am happy to share and announce, as has been given in the manifesto, that this insurance cover under Ayushman Bharat Arogya Karnataka will be raised to 10 lakh rupees per family. As a part of our promise to the citizens of Karnataka, the Bharatiya Janata Party assures strengthening of the public healthcare systems by ensuring the establishment of a medical college and a super speciality hospital in every district. What brings great joy to the female Karyakartas of the Bharatiya Janata Party is that our manifesto also promises the establishment of a nursing college in every district of Karnataka. Additionally, Bharatiya Janata Party in the state of Karnataka promises to set up regional centers of the Karnataka State Nursing Council. This again will not only give new opportunities to young women for higher education, but also better employment opportunities. We are extremely elated to receive positive feedback from senior citizens who, after reading the manifesto, have expressed delight at the fact that the Bharatiya Janata Party, after victory and establishment of the new government, will provide free annual master health checkups with affordable diagnostics for all senior citizens of the state. As women who are in need of geriatric care, this has met with a lot of applause. The Prime Minister's endeavour has been to ensure not only affordable health care, but also easy access to health care. And that is why Karnataka has seen the establishment of over 1,052 Jan Aushadhi Kendras in the state, where particularly women have had access to menstrual hygiene products which are affordable. Today, while the manifesto reflects on the aspirations of the women of Karnataka, as a mother, I am grateful that the BJP government in the state has not only distributed over 1.5 lakh tablets to students in government colleges, but also has upgraded 2,500 first grade college classrooms into smart classrooms. That mothers across the state are cognizant of the fact that under the Raya Vidya Nidhi scholarship, over 11 lakh students have benefited with scholarships worth 725 crores is known. 7 model universities have been established in Karnataka, 2 triple ITs, and as the former education minister, I am indeed pleased that the permanent campus of IIT Dharwad has been built at a cost of 850 crores. Now, the Bharatiya Janata Party, which in the state of Karnataka was the first to implement the national education policy, has resolved that 65,911 Anganwadis will be upgraded in the state to smart Anganwadis known as Saksham Anganwadis. And that on the lines of the IIT, the Bharatiya Janata Party has resolved that a Karnataka Institute of Technology will also be established. That women in the state have been witness to the fact that 235,000 households that were bereft of electricity now have electricity connections, that 43 lakh tap water connections have been provided under Jal Jeevan Mission at a cost of 9,709 crores in Karnataka, that 37 lakh free LPG connections have been given in the state, that 10 lakh children and 2 lakh pregnant women have been immunized against life-threatening diseases, that the Bharatiya Janata Party government in the state has already allocated 1,000 crores for providing free bus passes to 30 lakh women working in the organized sector, and also financially provided for free bus passes to girl students under the Vidya Vahini scheme, that over 19 lakh 50,000 women have during their pregnancy received a cash transfer in their bank account under the Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. Today, apart from celebrating these contributions of the Bharatiya Janata Party with regards to gender justice, I am happy to share that the Bharatiya Janata Party in its manifesto has announced an increase in the pension for women who are widowed to up to 2,000 rupees, a promise of distribution of Suraksha Janani Bharavase kit to every pregnant woman, which is worth 21,000 rupees, the establishment of hostels for working women and female students in Hubli, Belgavi, Kalaburgi, Mysuru, Mangaluru, Tumkuru and Davangere in a PPP model, and the Onake Obawa Samajika Nyaya Nidhi, which the Bharatiya Janata Party will ensure that we provide a matching deposit of 10,000 rupees on a 5-year fixed deposit made by women of the SC/ST households. Finally, apart from celebrating the fact that 3 cylinders will be given free, I am extremely elated that the manifesto has firmly announced that in the state of Karnataka, the BJP government ते मागचे दार बंद करा प्लीज, दार बंद करा, कार्यकर्ते बाहेर राहा ना प्लीज, दार बंद करा. नमस्कार मित्रांनो, मागील 2 मेच्या दिवशी यशवंतराव चव्हाण प्रतिष्ठानमध्ये आदरणीय शरद पवार साहेबांच्या पुस्तकांच्या जीवन 2015 पासून आजपर्यंत पार्ट 2 त्या प्रकाशनच्या वेळी आदरणीय शरद पवार साहेबांनी त्यांच्या भाषणात अचानक एक अतिशय महत्त्वाची सूचना केली होती की मी आज दिवसापासून राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाच्या अध्यक्षपदाचा राजीनामा देत आहे. आणि त्याच दिवशी त्यांनी पुढील कारवाईसाठी राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाच्या अध्यक्षाची जबाबदारी कोणावर सोपावी त्यासाठी एक समितीच्या गठन सुद्धा त्यांनी सुचवला होता. आणि माझं नाव त्यामध्ये पहिलं असल्यामुळे आणि मी पक्षाच्या राष्ट्रीय उपाध्यक्ष असल्यामुळे या समितीच्या निमंत्रक म्हणून मला ती जबाबदारी त्यांनी त्यांच्या भाषणात दिली होती. त्या दिवशी खरोखर त्यांच्या भाषणात जे काही त्यांनी उद्गार व्यक्त केले आम्ही स्तब्ध झालो. आम्हाला अजिबात कल्पना नव्हती की आदरणीय पवार साहेब असा निर्णय त्या कार्यक्रमामध्ये जाहीर करतील. आपण सगळे बऱ्याचपैकी तिथे होते आणि जे काही चव्हाण सेंटरच्या हॉलमध्ये दृश्य आपण पाहिले सगळ्यांची भावना सगळ्यांनी व्यक्त करण्याचा पण त्या दिवशी प्रयत्न केला. आणि चव्हाण सेंटरच्या कार्यक्रमानंतरही माझ्यासारखे अनेक पक्षाचे ज्येष्ठ मान्यवर यांनी पवार साहेबांची भेट घेतली. एकदा नाही वारंवार घेतली. आणि आम्ही त्यांना सारखी विनंती त्या दिवसापासून करत राहिलो की साहेब आज देशाला राज्याला आणि पक्षाला तुमची फार मोठी जरूरत आहे. आणि या पक्षाचा नाव आणि आधारस्तंभ फक्त तुम्ही आणि तुम्हीच आहात. शरद पवार साहेब आज आपल्या सगळ्यांना माहीत आहे की या देशामध्ये राज्यातच नव्हे पण देशामध्ये एक फार सन्मानित नेता आहे. आणि त्यांचा अनुभव आणि त्यांचा व्याप या देशाच्या प्रत्येक तुम्हाला राज्यामध्ये तुम्हाला सुद्धा दिसत आहे. आम्ही पंजाबला गेलो होतो बादल साहेबांच्या अंत्येष्टीसाठी. त्यावेळी सुद्धा पवार साहेबांना ज्या पद्धतीनं पंजाबचे शेतकरी जे काही तिथे बादल साहेबांना श्रद्धांजलीसाठी आले होते ते म्हणत होते पंजाब कधी तुमच्या शेतकऱ्यांच्यासाठी केलेल्या कामाला विसरू शकत नाही. असे वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी तुम्ही देशाच्या कानाकोपऱ्यात गेले तर असे उद्गार त्यांच्याबद्दल व्यक्त होत आहे. आणि या मागील 2-3 दिवसामध्ये अनेक मान्यवर या देशाचे दिग्गज नेते सुद्धा पवार साहेब नाही तर सुप्रियाताई किंवा माझ्यापर्यंत त्यांनी आपली भावना व्यक्त करण्याचंही काम केलं. आणि महाराष्ट्रामध्ये राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाच्या सर्व कार्यकर्त्यांची भावना जिल्ह्यामध्ये गावागावामध्ये आपल्याच माध्यमातून आम्हाला सगळ्यांना दिसायला मिळाली. राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षच नव्हे पण अन्य अनेक मान्यवरांचाही या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये आणि देशामध्ये पवार साहेबांनी या सक्रिय पदावरून सोडू नये आणि जाऊ नये असा मत व्यक्त केलं. राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाचे आमच्या कार्यकर्त्यांची तीव्र भावना या मागील 2-3 दिवसामध्ये आपल्या सगळ्यांना बघायला मिळालेली आहे. आणि आज जितके लोक बाहेर आहे हे तर ठीक आहे, पण अख्खा महाराष्ट्रामध्ये देशामध्ये जिथे जिथे राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाचा कार्यकर्ता आज आहे तो खरोखर त्यांच्या मनामध्ये वेदना आहे, दुःख आहे आणि नाराजी सुद्धा आहे. आणि या भावनाच्या आम्ही नजरअंदाज आम्ही करू शकत नाही. पवार साहेबांनी जे काही निर्णय त्यांनी घेतला, परत मी म्हणतो की त्यांनी आम्हाला कोणाला विश्वासात न घेतलं आणि तेव्हा त्यांनी हा निर्णय जाहीर केला. आज जी जबाबदारी एक कमिटीवर त्यांनी दिली होती त्याची बैठक आम्ही बोलवली. 2 तारखेला त्यांनी जाहीर केलं, पण स्वाभाविक आहे बाहेरचेही लोक या कमिटीमध्ये आहे, जे या राज्यातले बाहेरचे पण आहे. त्याशिवाय सुद्धा आम्ही 2-3 दिवसापासून त्यांना सतत दररोज भेटत होतो आणि त्यांना विनंती करायचं काम सुद्धा करत होतो. आज कमिटीने या बैठकीमध्ये एक ठराव आम्ही पारित केला आहे आणि सर्वानुमते आम्ही पारित केला आहे. ठराव मी आपल्या समक्ष वाचून दाखवतो आणि या ठराव जे मी तुमच्या समक्ष वाचून दाखवणार आहे त्याच्यानंतर आम्ही ही भावना हे ठराव घेऊन पवार साहेबांना भेटायचा प्रयत्न करू आणि प्रत्यक्षपणे सुद्धा आम्ही या आमच्या प्रस्तावाच्या बद्दल आणि सर्वानुमते जे आम्ही पारित केल्या प्रस्तावाच्या बद्दल आम्ही त्यांना भेटून विनंती करायचं काम सुद्धा करणार आहोत. प्रस्ताव असा आम्ही केला आहे की राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाचे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष देशाचे नेते आदरणीय खासदार शरदचंद्रजी पवार साहेब यांनी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष पदाचा राजीनामा देण्याचा मनोदय व्यक्त केला होता. आदरणीय पवार साहेबांचा राजीनामा एकमतानं नामंजूर करण्यात येत असून त्यांची सर्वानुमते पक्षाध्यक्षपदी कायम राहावे अशी विनंती करण्यात येत आहे. याचा अर्थ हेच आहे की आमची सर्वांची भावना सामूहिक आणि सर्वानुमते हीच आहे की पवार साहेबांनी याच पदावर कायम राहावं आणि जे राजीनामा देण्याची जी त्यांनी संकल्पना केली आणि जाहीर केलं त्यांनी आमच्या सर्वांच्या आणि या देशामध्ये कोट्यावधी लोकांच्या भावनेचा आदर करून सन्मान करून त्यांनी हा निर्णय त्यांच्या वापस घ्यावं अशी या आजच्या मीटिंगच्या द्वारे आम्ही त्यांना विनंती करत आहोत. मित्रांनो, आता अधिक काही या विषयावर आज बोलण्याचा अर्थ नाही आहे. जे आमचा निर्णय आहे ते आम्ही आदरणीय पवार साहेबांच्या पर्यंत जाऊन आम्ही त्यांना ही विनंती करणार आहोत. असं आहे. आता आमची मीटिंग इथे आता पूर्ण झाली. मीटिंग झाल्यानंतर आता साहेब कुठे आहे त्यांची वेळ मागायचा आम्ही प्रयत्न करू. शक्य असेल आणि जर चव्हाण सेंटरला असेल साहेब तर आम्ही तिथे जाऊ, नसेल तर आम्ही त्या पद्धतीनं कुठे आहे साहेबांची माहिती काढून मग आम्ही तिथे आम्ही जायचा प्रयत्न करू. हमारे नेता आदरणीय शरद पवार साहब ने पिछले 2 तारीख को एक उनके पुस्तक के विमोचन के कार्यक्रम में उनकी आत्मकथा के एक पुस्तक का विमोचन था. उस कार्यक्रम में अचानक स्टेज पर से ही अनाउंसमेंट किया कि मैं अब राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पक्ष की जिम्मेदारी अध्यक्ष पद की मैं यहाँ पर छोड़ रहा हूँ. और शरद पवार साहब ने एक कमेटी का गठन किया और जिसमें उन्होंने कहा कि ये कमेटी ने आगे की कार्रवाई के लिए फैसला करना चाहिए. अब वो कुछ बहुत सारी घटनाएं हुई, आप लोगों ने देखा है पिछले दिनों में देश के अनेक मान्यवरों ने पवार साहब को, सुप्रिया जी को मुझे फोन करके भी कहा, अनेक पक्ष के नेताओं ने भी कहा कि आपने अपने इस फैसले को वापस लेना चाहिए. और उसी के साथ साथ हमारे राज्य में भी जो कई नेता हैं, मान्यवर हैं, विविध क्षेत्र के लोग हैं और खास करके राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पार्टी के सभी कार्यकर्ता हैं, इन्होंने पिछले 3 दिनों से बहुत अपनी भावना को तीव्र तरीके से व्यक्त करने का काम किया है. और ये नज़ारा आपने और पूरे देश ने देखा है और आपके माध्यम से ही लोगों को देखने मिला है. मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि आज उस समिति ने यहाँ पर बैठक उन्हीं के बनाई हुई समिति के अनुसार यहाँ पर आयोजित की और हमने सबने यूनानिमसली, सर्वानुमति, ये सर्वसम्मति से एक यहाँ पर अपना प्रस्ताव पास किया है. और वो प्रस्ताव मैं पढ़ के केवल इतना ही बताऊंगा कि राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पक्ष के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष, देश के नेता माननीय शरद पवार साहब, इन्होंने राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष पद का इस्तीफा देने का अपना विचार व्यक्त किया था. आदरणीय शरद पवार साहब का राजीनामा हम एक मत से सर्वानुमत नामंजूर करते हैं और उनको सामूहिक तौर से ये हम विनती करते हैं कि उन्होंने अपने इस पद पर कायम रहना चाहिए और ये जिम्मेदारी उन्होंने निभाते रहना चाहिए. तो ये हमारा ये ठहराव है और ये प्रस्ताव को हमने पारित करके अब हम पवार साहब को भी विनती करेंगे कि ये पक्ष की भावना है, पक्ष के सभी जिम्मेदार लोगों को जिनको आपने ये काम कहा था कि अगले अध्यक्ष का आप चयन करिए, तो ये हमारा फैसला है कि हम अध्यक्ष का चयन नहीं कर पाएंगे क्योंकि सभी की भावना ये है कि आप ही ने इस देश का राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पक्ष का राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष पद का कार्यभार संभालना चाहिए. आप देश के एक माने हुए कद्दावर नेता हैं, सब आपको चाहते हैं, सब आपको मानते हैं, आपका एक स्टेचर अलग है, आपका एक रिस्पेक्ट अलग है और आपने आज सक्रिय राजनीति में रहते हुए राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पार्टी की जिम्मेदारी संभालना चाहिए. हमने कोई मर्यादा तो नहीं रखी है ना. हम चाहते हैं और अभी पिछले ही साल पवार साहब को राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष पद के लिए हमने फिर से हमारी राष्ट्रीय बैठक में हमने दिल्ली में उनको चुना हुआ है. तो उनका कार्यकाल जब तक है तब तक तो उनको रहना ही है और उसके बाद वो तो पार्टी फैसला करती है. पवार साहब ने खुद जो व्यक्त किया अपना डिसीजन, उसको पार्टी मंजूर नहीं करती है और उनको गुजारिश करती है, विनती करती है कि आपने अपने पद पे कायम रहना.
So, very, very clear signal coming out from the NCP's top leadership. Praful Patel over there saying that the committee that was formed to essentially look into the resignation of Sharad Pawar has rejected his resignation and that he must continue for the term that he was elected to. So, we'll have to wait and watch for how this really pans out. Now, whether this goes back to Sharad Pawar and he has to essentially say, yes, I'm going to continue till at least my term ends as president or not. It's a lot of it is left in the open. Let's in fact touch base with Alisha, who will perhaps be able to demystify this for us a little more. Alisha, so what we know so far is that the committee has rejected Sharad Pawar's resignation, and Praful Patel over there making it very clear that they would like him to remain for the term that he's being elected. How do you think this is going to translate, and what are the reactions likely to be from Ajit Pawar in particular? Because if you remember, at the time that he had announced his resignation, Ajit Pawar had come out and said that I think Sharad Pawar will not reconsider his decision.
Well, Nupur, it will be very interesting to see, because here is the committee has already decided and they have rejected the resignation of Sharad Pawar, and rather the fact they are also going to meet Sharad Pawar later in a day, and we heard Praful Patel clearly mentioning that the decision that we have taken is that we are not ready to accept the resignation of Sharad Pawar is what has been told, and the same message will be given to Sharad Pawar. They will go and meet. So here we have been seeing right outside the celebration, outside the NCP office. We'll also speak to them. Committee ने जहाँ पर decide किया है, committee ने decide किया है कि शरद पवार का जो resolution है,
कंफर्म हो गया, वही अध्यक्ष रहेंगे और ये मान्य हो गया कि शरद पवार ही रहेंगे।
एक तरफ डिसीजन जो है वो अब शरद पवार का
एक तरफ से सब लोग के अनुमति से हुआ है।
This was the decision and the sentiment, as we also heard Praful Patel clearly saying that it is a sentiment not only of the senior leader of the NCP but across the nation. We'll continue to show you the visuals outside the NCP office, where there are celebration right after the decision that has been given by committee, saying that there is only one decision that has been taken unanimously, where all of them have equally decided to reject the resignation of Sharad Pawar, and the same message will be conveyed to Sharad Pawar.
Now, Alisha, do you think that this would essentially strengthen Sharad Pawar's position? Because do remember, right before, we saw this resignation happening at that book launch, it was very sudden. There were rumblings within the NCP. There was talk of the party essentially splitting. But with all of this, do you now think that Sharad Pawar's position within the party and also, the message that needed to go out perhaps to other people within the party is very, very clear?
Well, the same message was given on 2nd May itself when Sharad Pawar has resigned as the NCP chief. It was the first that we were saying about the same, that it's a clear message that has been given by Sharad Pawar itself, and now the people, the worker, the sentiment itself has given a strong message to all the leader of the NCP, because there was some of the speculation that was going around whether Ajit Pawar along with some MLAs is going to join the other party. But now, right after the resignation of Sharad Pawar, it's been 4 days when the workers have been continuously protesting. They are requesting Sharad Pawar to continue as the chief of the party. He should continue, he should remain the president of the party. And the same message, it's not only from Sharad Pawar but across Maharashtra is what we are saying. Because today the workers and the leaders who are present outside the NCP office today and continuously protesting, they are across a district which has reached today to convey the message to Sharad Pawar, saying that he should reconsider his decision. And when the committee was formed, it was about the people who were continuously saying that they should say. We will also speak to them. एक तरफ ये डिसीजन को किस तरीके से देखते हैं, क्योंकि कमेटी ने साफ तौर पर बोल दिया है कि जो रेजिग्नेशन शरद पवार ने दिया है उसको वो नामंजूर करते हैं।
इस डिसीजन को पूरा देश सराहनीय कर रहा है और हमारे जैसे कार्यकर्ता, हम तमाम लोग हमारे जो कमेटी मेंबर्स यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, हमारे जो नेता यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, उन्हें हम मुबारकबाद पेश करते हैं कि शरद चंद्र जी पवार साहब को सिर्फ इन कार्यकर्ताओं की जरूरत नहीं है, बल्कि हमारे साहब की जरूरत पूरे देश को है। और अगर देश को चलाना है तो शरद चंद्र जी पवार साहब महाराष्ट्र के नहीं बल्कि वो देश के नेता है।
लेकिन शरद पवार ने भी एक तरफ से काफी साफ कह दिया था कि एक नए चेहरे को एक मौका मिलना चाहिए, इसके वजह से उन्होंने पार्टी के हित के लिए उन्होंने ये डिसीजन लिया।
जब तक साहब है, जब तक हमारे जैसे कार्यकर्ताओं की, हम तमाम लोगों की एक ही मांग है कि शरद चंद्र जी पवार साहब ही हमारे अध्यक्ष रहेंगे, राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष रहेंगे। बाकी जो नेतृत्व है, नेतृत्व भी हमारे नेता हैं, वो सब भी देश को चलाने में रोल अदा करेंगे, लेकिन शरद चंद्र जी पवार साहब का रोल कोई अदा नहीं कर सकता।
ये भी कह सकते हैं कि आज जो कार्यकर्ताओं की ओर से लगातार मांग की जा रही थी, ये कहीं ना कहीं पर एक दबाव उस जो कमेटी बैठी है उन पर, और इसके बाद
ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। बहुत से लोग शरद चंद्र जी पवार साहब को चाहते हैं, वही राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बने रहे, यही सबकी मांग है और उनके मार्गदर्शन में ही पक्ष आगे चले, यही हमारी राय है सबकी।
So this is the sentiment and what the visuals that we have been continuously seeing and speaking to the people, clearly mentioning that they want only Sharad Pawar as the leader, as the chief of the party. They are not ready to accept any other face, because that is something being mentioned, whether it is Sharad Pawar or whether it is Ajit Pawar. We heard the even statement on the same day when Sharad Pawar resigned from his post, where Ajit Pawar has also mentioned that there are some new face has to be given, because considering the age and the health issues of Sharad Pawar, this is where the Sharad Pawar has taken a decision to resign from the post and give someone else a new chance about it. We'll also speak to the women कार्यकर्तास who have been present here. आज कमेटी ने जो निर्णय लिया है उसको लेकर आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं, क्योंकि कमेटी ने शरद पवार जी का रेजिग्नेशन को ही नामंजूर किया है।
जी हाँ, हम सब लोग कार्यकर्ता बहुत खुश हैं। हमारे लिए दिवाली है ये, क्योंकि जो कार्यकर्ता की मांगनी थी, जो हम लोग की जो ये थी, इसके लिए सब लोग दूर दूर से आए। हम लोग बहुत खुश हैं कि पवार साहब हमारे अध्यक्ष रहेंगे और उनके नेतृत्व में हम लोग काम करेंगे। हम लोग बहुत खुश हैं।
इस अध्यक्ष पद पे शरद पवार के अलावा कोई और देख नहीं सकते?
नहीं, अभी तो फिलहाल हम पवार साहब के सामने किसी को नहीं देख सकते, क्योंकि पवार साहब को देख के हम लोग सब कार्यकर्ते, छोटे छोटे कार्यकर्ते भी हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं और उन्हीं के सामने हम लोग सीखे हैं, आगे जाएंगे और उनके नेतृत्व में हमें आगे जाना है।
आज जहाँ तक देख रहे हैं, कमेटी ने साफ तौर पर मतलब एक आखिरी जो शरद पवार को भी इसके बारे में बताना है, अगर वो निर्णय नहीं बदलते अपना, तो किस तरीके की कमेटी देखी जाएगी?
नहीं, हम तो ये सब लोग इस्तीफा देंगे, इतना ही हम कर सकते हैं। साहब ने जब निर्णय नहीं बदला होगा तो सब लोग घर पर बैठते थे।
ये डिसीजन शरद पवार साहब का खुद था अपने एज को लेकर, और एक ये कहा जा रहा था कि एक नए फेस को जो है एक मौका देना चाहिए, लेकिन आज कमेटी ने तो उनके रेजिग्नेशन को खारिज कर दिया। लेकिन एक आखिरी जो निर्णय है वो कहीं ना कहीं पे शरद पवार ने।
देखिए, पवार साहब इस देश के बहुत ताकतवर नेता है। तो पिछले 63 सालों से जो राजनीति की सियासत देश में चल रही है, पवार साहब के बिना कुछ नहीं होता, देश में पत्ता तक नहीं हिलता। यूपीए अगर बनानी होती है तो सोनिया जी को शरद पवार साहब का सहारा लेना होता है। ममता दीदी को बंगाल जीतना होता है तो पवार साहब से बातचीत करनी होती है। स्टालिन जी को तमिलनाडु में कुछ करना होता है तो पवार साहब से बातचीत। इसका मतलब ये है, शेर बूढ़ा भी हो जाए तो घास नहीं खाता। टाइगर इज बैक, द वन एंड ओनली टाइगर, शरद पवार।
The sentiment of NCP workers right outside the NCP office, where the committee has already taken their decision. 18-member committee which was formed by Sharad Pawar itself, but now they have not accepted the resignation of Sharad Pawar. But it is up to now Sharad Pawar to decide whether he is going to take back his resignation or not.
Alisha, I just wanted to ask you, where have all these people come from? Have they come from the bastion of Sharad Pawar? In that sense, then we would know where have all these people travelled from, and the kind of mass support that Sharad Pawar enjoys is very, very difficult to ignore, and that perhaps is the reality of the NCP. Even though there appears to be a dissent brewing time and again, but the fact is that Sharad Pawar is a very popular leader in Maharashtra.
Well, yes, and that has been also conveyed by the workers as well. As I mentioned, that they are not only from Mumbai, but across Maharashtra, which has reached to Mumbai, and now they are conveying the message. Will also go to the main location, because there might be the committee members who have been leaving from the location. But we only heard Praful Patel, who clearly mentions that it is not only about the 18 members, the committee members that has been formed, but the crore of people who has expressed their decision. Okay, here we are seeing that the leaders who have been leaving from the location will also try and speak to them. But yes, as we know that the decision from them has been taken back.
कमिटी ने जो मान्य करतील आम्हाला विश्वास आहे. तर इथे गाडी आहे ना माझी, तुम्ही तुमच्या गाडीत बसता. येस
We are seeing the continued visuals that the leaders who have been leaving from the same location, and now it is made it very much clear that Sharad Pawar has to accept the decision that has been taken by committee itself, because committee was formed by Sharad Pawar to decide over the chief of the NCP, but the committee has decided that they will not accept, they have rejected the resignation of Sharad Pawar, and the same message will be conveyed to Sharad Pawar. And now again they are going to make a request to Sharad Pawar to reconsider his decision, is what the committee members has also mentioned. And even Praful Patel in the press conference has said that only one decision has been taken where the committee has been formed, and it's not only the sentiment of the committee members, but the sentiment of crore of people who have reached Mumbai just to request Sharad Pawar to take back his decision, because we heard many of the leaders clearly saying they're not ready to accept any new faces. No new face can be the chief of the party, but only Sharad Pawar. The visuals on your screen, as you see, that the committee members who left from NCP office right after the meeting, the decision might be conveyed to Sharad Pawar now, and they're trying to figure it out. Where is Sharad Pawar, whether he could be at.
Alisha, just hold your thoughts. Shagan Bhujbal over there waving to the crowds as he moves away from the NCP's office. Alisha, I wanted to ask from you that there were, I think, about 12 members in that committee. Was this a unanimous decision, or were there any dissenting members who felt that this resignation should not be taken back?
No, this was a decision that was taken by all the committee members, and the time the meeting started, all the members has made it very much clear that they cannot even accept anyone else, and there is no point of making any decision to appoint any other leader but only Sharad Pawar. So it will be very better that we should reject the resignation of Sharad Pawar, is what has been mentioned by Praful Patel itself. And now what we have been seeing, that they are trying to figure it out where exactly Sharad Pawar, because the same message has to be conveyed to Sharad Pawar. Sharad Pawar was about to come to this, who was about to attend the same meeting but could not be.
It was unanimously decided that Sri Sharad Pawarji should continue as the president, and since it is a unanimous decision, we are hopeful that he will agree.
Thank you so much.
The NCP is extremely clear. They want Sharad Pawar to continue. Let's listen into what Supriya Sule is saying.
Other than these to be discussed in the meeting.
over there, but we have heard Chhagan Bhujbal, we heard Praful Patel, we also heard PC Chako, all of them very, very firm, saying that there is no question. Okay, let's once again listen in.
What is your reaction now that the committee has finally taken the center ला जा मी तुमचा फोटो काढून देते
सुप्रिया जी you think
I think Supriya Sule over there is not wanting to speak right now. What I could understand is that I will speak at the YB Savan Center is what she appears to be telling the media. So perhaps a word will come in from Supriya Sule a little later. Do remember that when all of this started off, there was talk of the fact that Supriya Sule could perhaps look at the national affairs of the party and the Maharashtra affairs would then stay with Ajit Pawar. Obviously, that is something that would have been questionable given the sense that at the moment at least the NCP is really not a national party. It lost its stature as a national party. So Maharashtra is where it draws its strength from, and pictures on your screen are of the cadres who have descended onto Mumbai from various parts of Maharashtra. Celebrations breaking out for the NCP cadres over there, and the support for Sharad Pawar is extremely clear and very, very visible on the ground. Alisha, if I could come back to you on this one. Alisha, you were saying that this, of course, has been a unanimous decision. And, you know, with the kind of celebrations that we are seeing over there, it does appear that there's going to be no going back on this one.
Well, that is something has been decided since the time Sharad Pawar has given a resignation. We'll also speak to leaders who have been outside the NCP office. So the decision has been taken by committee. The decision is to reject the resignation that was given by Sharad Pawar.
We are very happy and we are thankful to all the leaders.
अरे सांभाळा बाबांनो, लागेल तुम्हाला. मला मी कार्यकर्त्यांना भेटायला चालले.
Formed by Sharad Pawar itself has clearly given and announced that they have rejected the proposal. The resignation of Sharad Pawar will also continue showing the visuals right outside the NCP office. There are continuously celebration right after the announcement that was made by the committee, clearly mentioning that the only one decision has been taken by committee. The committee that was formed by Sharad Pawar itself, and the committee had decided to reject the resignation of Sharad Pawar, and now the same message will be conveyed to Sharad Pawar. Rather, the fact no matter wherever Sharad Pawar will be, they are going to meet Sharad Pawar. There will be a huge discussion, because if we remember the words of Sharad Pawar clearly stated that it is high time for him to give this party, to hand over the party to someone else. A new face should given a chance of speaking about it or take the charge of it. We are also joined with Maharashtra General Secretary. Sir, आपने खुद ने एक रेजिग्नेशन दिया था. जब शरद पवार ने अपना रेजिग्नेशन दिया था तो उसके बाद आपने खुद महाराष्ट्र जनरल सेक्रेटरी के पद से रेजिग्नेशन दिया था. लेकिन अब कमेटी जो थी, कमेटी ने ये डिसाइड कर लिया कि जो रेजिग्नेशन है उसी को अब नामंजूर कर.
नहीं, हमने जब साहब अभी वापिस अध्यक्ष बन चुके हैं तो हमें बहुत खुशी है और आनंद है. जैसे दिवाली और दसरा आज हम मना रहे हैं कि साहब के बिना राष्ट्रवादी चल नहीं सकते. देश का एक ही समीकरण है, राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस बराबर शरद पवार. और जो लोग मतार लोग हैं वो शरद पवार साहब को देख के ही मतदान करते हैं. वो इसमें शेतकरी रहने दो, कामगार रहने दो, दलित रहने दो, अल्पसंख्यक सेल का रहने दो. आज तो वारकरी, हरिभक्त, कीर्तनकार बुआ भी यहाँ पे आए थे. सब लोग साहब के साथ में है और साहब ने वापिस अपना राजीनामा पीछे लेने के बाद कार्यकर्ता में एक बहुत
ये डिसीजन कमेटी ने ली है. अब जो कमेटी है वो शरद पवार से मिलेंगे और उनको बताएंगे कि कमेटी की ओर से ये निर्णय लिया है कि जो रेजिग्नेशन है उसको अब रिजेक्ट किया जाता है, न मंजूर.
नहीं, कमेटी ने निर्णय लिया है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. लेकिन पूरी महाराष्ट्र की जनता साहब ने जो इस्तीफा दिया था वो पीछे लेने की मांग कर रहे थे। साहब ने कार्यकर्ता के भावना का आदर करके साहब ने कल ही बोला था 2 दिन में मैं
a political and moral answer from Aam Aadmi Party, because they try to become self-proclaimed one and only exclusive copyright holder of the morality in the politics, which has been totally shattered.
Any question?
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का अभी तक का सबसे बड़ा जो रोड शो हुआ था वो अहमदाबाद में हुआ था 50 किलोमीटर का। कौन हताश था और उसके बाद कौन हताश दिखा? मुझे लगता है कि कांग्रेस को कोई टिप्पणी करने से पहले इस बात पे विचार कर लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि जनता का इस प्रकार का भाव है, सम्मान और स्नेह का प्रधानमंत्री जी के प्रति, इसलिए रोड शो करने की आवश्यकता अधिक होती है और हमारे अन्य नेताओं को भी, ताकि अधिक से अधिक जनता के साथ संवाद और अधिक से अधिक जनता के साथ संपर्क किया जा सके और वह संपर्क निकट से हो सके।
दूसरा कहना है कि मुसलमानों का जो आरक्षण है वो 4 से 6% बढ़ाने पर हम विचार करेंगे।
देखिए, एक बात मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि सांप्रदायिक आधार के ऊपर आरक्षण देने का कोई प्रावधान संविधान में नहीं है। इस तरह की बात करना असंवैधानिकता है और एक नहीं अनेक बार, एक नहीं अनेक राज्यों के उच्च न्यायालय के द्वारा यह खारिज किया जा चुका है। अब रही बात इसकी कि उनकी बड़ी हास्यास्पद स्थिति है कि पीएफआई जिस पे बैन है वो कहते हैं हम लगा देंगे, और बजरंग दल जिस पे वो बैन लगा ही नहीं सकते, एक राज्य सरकार होने जाते उस पे कहते हैं लगा देंगे। मतलब अब आप सोचिए कि इनकी क्या बात पे भरोसा किया जाए, इस बात की करामात आप समझिए। तभी तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि इनकी बात की कोई वारंटी नहीं, क्या गारंटी की बात की जाए? मतलब जो हो चुका है वो कर देंगे और जो कर नहीं सकते वो भी कर देंगे। इसीलिए मैंने पुनः रिपीट कर रहा हूं, इसीलिए ये सारे दल क्राइसिस ऑफ क्रेडिबिलिटी के प्रतीक हैं। और मैं पूर्व में बात कह चुका हूं, फिर रिपीट कर रहा हूं, बजरंग दल पर यह प्रतिबंध लगाने का दावा नहीं कर रहे हैं, ये लगा चुके हैं और अदालत की चौखट पर औंधे मुंह गिर चुके हैं। विवादित ढांचा गिरने के बाद 10 दिसंबर 1992 को इन्होंने संघ और बजरंग दल दोनों पर प्रतिबंध लगाया था। नियमानुसार 90 दिन के अंदर इनको कोर्ट के सामने सारे साक्ष्य एक ट्रिब्यूनल के रूप में प्रस्तुत करने पड़ते हैं, जो ये साबित करने में असफल रहे और 4 जून 1993 को बाहरी ट्रिब्यूनल ने पूरी तरीके से खारिज कर दिया, संघ और बजरंग दल दोनों को आरोप से मुक्त कर दिया। और 18 जून की रिपोर्ट पढ़ी है बाहरी ट्रिब्यूनल की, पेज नंबर 71 पे क्लियर कट लिखा, कोई एविडेंस ही नहीं था सरकार के पास। तो इसका मतलब चाहे भूत हो या वर्तमान हो, दोनों उनका ऐसा है, तो भविष्य क्या होगा आप समझ सकते हैं। बजरंग बली का नाम लेके तो भय दूर भागता है। अब उससे भयभीत कौन होता है वो आप लोग ज्यादा बेहतर समझते होंगे कि बजरंग बली के नाम से कौन भयभीत होता है।
एक सवाल है, राजस्थान, छत्तीसगढ़, हिमाचल के बाद अब कांग्रेस जो है वो कर्नाटक में भी ओपीएस लाने की बात कर रही है। उनका कहना है कि अगर उनकी सरकार आएगी तो स्कीम को लाएंगे।
देखिए, उनके जितने भी दावे हैं इन पे भरोसा नहीं किया जा सकता, क्योंकि इतने वर्ष तक उन लोग जगह जगह सत्ता में रहे, 10 वर्ष केंद्र में रहे, उन्होंने नहीं किया। इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूं उनकी किसी बात के ऊपर भरोसा नहीं किया जा सकता, क्योंकि पूर्व में इतने लंबे समय तक रहने के बाद जो काम नहीं किए। अच्छा, और कोई पार्टी कहे तो समझ में आता है, ये 55 साल इन्होंने सीधे इनके परिवार ने राज किया है 60 में से, और उसके बाद कहें अब हम ये करके दिखाएंगे, तो यानी आपके पहले नेहरू जी, इंदिरा जी, राजीव जी और फिर आपकी माता जी का डी फैक्टो रूल, और उसके बाद अब आप कहें कि हम करेंगे, तो उसे मतलब शब्दशः न लिया जाए।
तो एक हिसाब से आप सबका स्वागत है बुद्ध बनने के लिए। और जब उस अवस्था का अनुभव होता है तो आपके भीतर शांति ही होती है। भले आसपास कुछ भी गड़बड़ी हो जाए, भीतर की शांति जो है वो हिलती नहीं है।
5% कमीशन खाने वाली कांग्रेस कर्नाटका को दशकों पीछे ले जाकर गड्ढे में गाड़ देगी। ई बारियां निर्धारा बहुमत बीजेपी सरकारा। इस बार कर्नाटका ने पूर्ण बहुमत वाली बीजेपी की स्थिर सरकार बनाने का निर्णय कर लिया है। अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों।
Hello and welcome. You're watching Republic TV and our focus continues to be on the Karnataka elections, and the issue that is dominating the campaign in Karnataka is undoubtedly the Bajrang Dal controversy. Now, Congress continues to be divided on the Bajrang Dal controversy. After senior Congress leader Veerappa Moily, it is Jagdish Shettar who is now saying that banning any organization is not the subject of the state. Let's listen in to what Jagdish Shettar, former leader of the BJP, former Karnataka Chief Minister who is now with the Congress, has said while talking about this entire controversy.
Discussion specifically on the banned Bajrang Dal controversy. Mr. Shettar, this issue has raked up in entire Karnataka. We are seeing protests happening. We are seeing Congress manifesto being burnt up. What you have to say, because your entire family is a hardcore Sanghi. You yourself are a hardcore Sanghi. You have come from that background where to enter Bajrang Dal, you have to take a route through Jansang. What's your take on this entire thing?
That issue I don't want to discuss more. And in the party forum, I will discuss it in thorough. And yesterday, ex-CM, even senior Congress leader, Veerappa Moily clarified everything. And regarding banning any organization, it is not under the subject of the state government. It is only the power is with the union government. So, regarding that aspect, already Moily has clarified everything. I don't want to intervene in that issue.
But one thing, we are not going deeply in this issue, but I just wanted to ask you, whether it's true, do you feel that till now, before this issue, BJP's food plate was empty, Congress gave them something that the...
This is not a question of 1 day or 2 discussion is going on. But what is reality in the state, what is people are expecting? Price rise is there, corruption is there. All issues are going out to discuss. Only emotional issues, people will not like it.
What do you have to say on this 40% Sarkara, the corruption issues which have been raked up in Karnataka a lot?
No, corruption is there. Whether it is 40, 50, I don't know. Corruption is there. More corruption is there. Yes.
So, one last question. How many seats are you expecting from this entire area? If you talk about Hubli, Dharwad, the all constituency falling in it.
No, entire this, I will say in the Karnataka, Congress is gaining. According to my experience, Congress will get the absolute majority and form the government.
Do you think there will be a slight possibility of fractured or hung assembly?
No, there is no hung or no fractured verdict. It is clear majority. Congress will get it.
That was Jagdish Shettar, who said that banning any organization is not a state subject. A state government cannot ban any organization. So this entire Bajrang Dal controversy, he says, shouldn't have been raked up in the first place. We have another Congress leader who has in fact called Bajrang Dal Ravan Sena. Let's listen in to what this Vajra Congress leader is saying.
Mr. Rajas, so what should we understand?
what Congress did in manifesto and now trying to do a damage control. Mr. D.K. Shivkumar visiting Hanuman temple and stating that if we are voted to power, we will build Hanuman Mandir across Karnataka. Is it a damage control?
Not at all. See, there is no relationship between Hanuman and Bajrang Dal. The workers in Bajrang Dala, the Karyakartas in Bajrang Dala were acting like dissidents of Ravana. So Bajrang Dala was subjected to be banned once Congress comes to power.
So you are saying that the ban Bajrang Dal, what is mentioned in manifesto is right? Are you stating this?
100%. We are followers of Hanuman. We are followers of Bajrangi, but not Bajrang Dal. Bajrang Dal is not made by Hanuman. It is made by Ravana dissidents.
But how come Bajrang Dal is equated with PFI? PFI is a organization. Kerala High Court itself stated that PFI is an extremist organization involved in violence and other criminal activities. How can you compare Bajrang Dal with PFI?
The workers in Bajrang Dala and the workers in PFI are anti-social elements. Any organization having anti-social elements should not be allowed. It should be banned.
So you think now there's a divide in Congress? So we saw Mr. Jagdish Shettar speaking that there's the state government can't ban Bajrang Dal. Virappa Moily stated that we didn't use the word ban. No ban could be imposed on Bajrang Dal. The state government doesn't have any right. We saw Acharya Pramod Krishnan, senior Congress leader, stating that this is wrong. Congress should remove this point from its manifesto. It will go backlash. They will receive a massive backlash and it will go against Congress. So there's a divide in Congress over this entire, promise which has been made.
All three leaders have given their personal opinion. But party stands with the ban once we come to power.
So you are saying that Congress stands and there's no wrong in banning Bajrang Dal?
It is in our manifesto. I would not like to comment much on it.
But comparing it with PFI, I still don't understand, because SDPI, parties like SDPI has extended support to Congress. Is Congress under the immense pressure of SDPI and PFI that they have put such promise in their manifesto?
See, BJP has made party with a terrorist party in Kashmir. So we don't want any terrorists, we don't want anti-social communities, any anti-social participant in Karnataka. We believing in the garden of harmony. Anything which is going to breach the harmony will be removed from Karnataka. Thank you.
One last question. What is your expectation from the Karnataka election? Because right now what you feel, there will be hung assembly, fractured assembly, because BJP is very confident to cross the magic number. They are saying that they will get almost 130 to 135 numbers. What's Congress' take on it?
BJP has made Karnataka the corruption capital of the world. We have our surveys. Our surveys speak 141 number. We will come in power in the large number. We will have a strong development government in Karnataka.
So there we had one Congress leader from the Hubballi constituency calling Bajrang Dal a Ravan Sena, equating the Bajrang Dal with the Ravan Sena, another anti-Hindu insult there coming in from Karnataka. And in fact, as this controversy snowballs and gets bigger as we draw closer to the elections, we also have an exclusive interview with Union Minister Smriti Irani. Our correspondent Aneri spoke to Smriti Irani. Let's listen in to that exclusive interview.
अब आखिरी पड़ाव पे है, लेकिन साथ में अब जो है वो बजरंग बली की पॉलिटिक्स, अब जैसे कांग्रेस के मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग दल बैन की बात की गई, उसके बाद भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने इसको एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा बनाया है। लेकिन साथ ही साथ कांग्रेस पार्टी में भी एक तरीके का डिवाइड है, हर लीडर अलग तरीके की भाषा बोलते हैं। आप इसको किस तरह से देखते हैं?
मैं इतना कहूँगी, बजरंग बली हो या राम भक्त होने का विषय हो या आस्था का विषय है, और हमारी आस्था पर अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी प्रहार करती है तो निश्चित रूप से लोग आक्रोशित होंगे। और ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कार्यकर्ता आक्रोशित है, हिंदू समुदाय से संबद्ध हर नागरिक, हर व्यक्ति इस बात से आहत है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी जब जब सत्ता की कल्पना करती है तब तब उनकी कल्पना में ये भावना संबद्ध होती है, सम्मिलित होती है कि कैसे हिंदू धर्म पर, हिंदू आस्था पर और हिंदू धर्म के पालन करने वालों पर या फिर संगठनों पर वो प्रहार करें।
लेकिन साथ ही साथ हम अब देख रहे हैं है कि रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला ने भी आज एक रिपोर्ट कार्ड निकाला है जहां पे उन्होंने कई सारी बातें की है। लेकिन अब डीके शिव कुमार की अगर हम बात करें तो उन्होंने कल एक स्टेटमेंट दिया था जहां पे उन्होंने कहा कि अगर कांग्रेस की सरकार बनती है तो वो मंदिरों को रिवैम्प करेंगे और मंदिरों को और नई तरह से।
वही तो फर्क है, डीके शिव कुमार अभी भी अगर बोल रहे हैं, हम तो कह रहे हैं हम आ रहे हैं सरकार में। तो जब डीके शिव कुमार को खुद ही इस बात का डाउट है तो इससे ज्यादा मैं क्या बोलूं।
मैम हम देख रहे हैं कि कांग्रेस के एक नेता है राजमोहन जो एसडीपीआई लीडर्स से इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं और अब वो कह रहे हैं कि मुस्लिम्स के अगेंस्ट नहीं खड़ा होना चाहिए और बीजेपी को वोट नहीं देना चाहिए।
इस नेता का ये आरोप है कि कांग्रेस एक मुस्लिम पार्टी है। जब आपने प्रश्न मुझसे किया, क्योंकि मैंने वाक्य उनका देखा नहीं है, अगर कांग्रेस के एक नेता ने एसडीपीआई से कहा कि मुस्लिम को मुस्लिम के खिलाफ खड़ा नहीं होना चाहिए, तो क्या कांग्रेस का ये मानना है कि वो एक मुस्लिम पार्टी है? दूसरा, एसडीपीआई कैसा संगठन है? वो संगठन है जो राष्ट्र विरोधी काम करते हैं, वो संगठन है जो हिंदू धर्म और हिंदू समुदाय के लोगों पर आक्रमण करते हैं। क्यों कांग्रेस पार्टी फिर ऐसे लोगों के साथ आश्रय ढूंढ रही है?
लेकिन मैम साथ ही साथ अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही हमने देखा था कि किस तरह से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी पे भी पर्सनल अटैक्स किए जा रहे हैं, कई अपशब्द यूज़ किए जा रहे हैं और अब प्रियंका गांधी आके कहते हैं कि पब्लिक लाइफ में ऐसा होता है, आपको इसको सहना चाहिए, आपको इसकी हानि
चाहिए ना। हाँ, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बाकी सब छोड़ दें, सिर्फ मुद्दे की हम बात करें। तो श्रीमती वाड्रा क्योंकि कर्नाटक में इतना समय दे रही हैं और बोल रही हैं जनता से, तो एक प्रश्न का उत्तर दे दें। क्या ये सत्य है कि पद्म पुरस्कार बेचने के लिए श्रीमती वाड्रा ने किसी बैंकर से 2 करोड़ की पेंटिंग खरीदवाने की कोशिश की? इस पर आज तक उन्होंने चुप्पी साध रखी है, कभी कुछ बोला नहीं है। क्या ये सत्य है कि श्री राहुल गांधी और सोनिया गांधी 5,000 करोड़ का घोटाला करने के लिए कोर्ट से बेल पर बाहर हैं? इस पर उन्होंने आज तक कुछ बोला नहीं है। मैं तो ये नहीं पूछ रही श्री वाड्रा ने कितनी ज़मीनें कहाँ हड़पी, मैं सिर्फ यही 2 सवाल पूछ रही हूँ।
मैम एक आखिरी सवाल पूछना चाहूँगी, बीजेपी जिस तरह से यहाँ पे कैंपेनिंग कर रही है, लेकिन साथ ही साथ अपोजिशन पार्टीज जो कांग्रेस है वो 40% कमीशन का आरोप लगाती है भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे, आप इसको किस तरह से देखती है? क्योंकि पहले जैसे कि हमने देखा था कि ये जो मुद्दा था 40% कमीशन वाज द सेंट्रल टॉपिक ऑफ द कर्नाटक।
आपसे कह रही हूँ, श्रीमती वाड्रा हो या गांधी खानदान हो, वो क्यों डीके शिव कुमार की करप्शन पर चुप है ये आप जानते हैं, क्योंकि कमीशन उनके पास जाता होगा निश्चित रूप से, ऐसा लोग कहते हैं। दूसरा, क्यों सिद्धरामैया जी के करप्शन पर चुप है, ये भी एक प्रश्न बनता है। लेकिन मैं दोबारा एक मुद्दे पर आती हूँ। आज मैंने अपने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में मैनिफेस्टो से संबंधित कई बातें की। मैंने एक अपने प्रचार के दौरान एक बात कही थी, कॉपी कैट कांग्रेस। और मैंने इसलिए कही थी क्योंकि श्री राहुल गांधी को किसी ने कान में जाकर कह दिया फ्री बस पास अनाउंस कर दो, जबकि उनको ये ज्ञान ही नहीं था कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की प्रदेश की सरकार ने 1,000 करोड़ की व्यवस्था से ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर की सभी महिलाओं को फ्री बस पास की व्यवस्था कर दी थी। कहीं किसी ने जाके गांधी खानदान के कान में फूंक दिया कि नहीं आप ना अपैरल पार्क बोलो या जीन्स पार्क बोलो। फिर उन्होंने स्पष्टीकरण मांगा 5,000 करोड़ है कि 2,000 करोड़ है कि 4,000 करोड़। तो मैं दोबारा कह रही हूँ, कॉपी कैट कांग्रेस, confused Congress can never deliver progress.
So that was Union Minister Smriti Irani speaking to us on Republic TV. This is Aneri Shah with video journalist Anup for Republic TV.
So there we had Union Minister Smriti Irani speaking exclusively to Republic on various issues from battleground Karnataka, attacking the Congress also for the Bajrang Dal controversy that is a hot topic in the Karnataka election campaign. We will keep a close watch on the developments and the responses that we've been getting on this big controversy in the poll-bound state. For now, we're heading into a short break. And after the break, we will get you live coverage from Prime Minister Modi's rally as campaigning enters a final stage. Prime Minister Modi is going to be campaigning in Karnataka.
तो एक हिसाब से आप सबका स्वागत है बुद्ध बनने के लिए। भले आसपास कुछ भी गड़बड़ी हो जाए, भीतर की शांति जो है वो हिलती नहीं है।
ये चुनाव ये तय करने का चुनाव है कि अगले 5 साल तक मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में डबल इंजन सरकार कर्नाटक को आगे ले जाएगी या कांग्रेस की सरकार कर्नाटक को पीछे ले जाएगी।
अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूँ। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों।
बजरंग बली को थाने में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है। बजरंग बली की हमने भगवान श्री राम को थाने में बंद किया और अब बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को थाने में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया।
कमीशन खाने वाली कांग्रेस कर्नाटका को दशकों पीछे ले जाकर गड्ढे में गाड़ देगी। ई बारियां निर्धारा बहुमत बीजेपी सरकारा। इस बार कर्नाटका ने पूर्ण बहुमत वाली बीजेपी की स्थिर सरकार बनाने का निर्णय कर लिया है। अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूँ। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों।
Now, the security forces foiled a smuggling bid and apprehended 2 suspects involving in a case of cross-border smuggling in the Poonch area near the international border. Here's a report.
Jammu and Kashmir Police, along with the Indian Army, has foiled a narcotics smuggling bid, a module that was working on the behest of the Pakistan. The 2 porters that were working with the Indian Army and have access to the forward area have been apprehended by the Jammu and Kashmir Police on the inputs shared by the Indian Army. Important to mention that the 6 kilogram of heroin worth more than 30 crore rupees have been recovered from their possession and their further interrogation is underway. It is believed that they were behind the smuggling of this heroin that they were getting from the Pakistan via line of control and also into the further distribution. Thus, by busting this module, the Jammu and Kashmir Police has given a tough to the Pakistan's nefarious plots that has continuously been trying to push narcotics into the Indian territory so that the future generations of the country can be destroyed. With Sir Jeevan Kumar, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
We're heading into a short break right now. After the break, we'll get you details of External Affairs Minister Jaishankar's address at the SCO summit where he nailed Pakistan on cross-border terror, says nothing justifies terror.
तो एक हिसाब से आप सबका स्वागत है बुद्ध बनने के लिए। भले आसपास कुछ भी गड़बड़ी हो जाए, भीतर की शांति जो है वो हिलती नहीं है।
5% कमीशन खाने वाली कांग्रेस कर्नाटका को दशकों पीछे ले जाकर गड्ढे में गाड़ देगी। ई बारियां निर्धारा बहुमत बीजेपी सरकारा। इस बार कर्नाटका ने पूर्ण बहुमत वाली बीजेपी की स्थिर सरकार बनाने का निर्णय कर लिया है। अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों।
श्री राम को ताले में बंद किया और नए बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताले में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया।
ये चुनाव ये तय करने का चुनाव है कि अगले 5 साल तक मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में डबल इंजन सरकार कर्नाटक को आगे ले जाएगी या कांग्रेस की सरकार कर्नाटक को पीछे ले जाएगी। अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों।
Getting you some international news now, the United States has come down heavily against the Kremlin after the claimed Ukrainian UAV attack on the presidential palace in Moscow. Here's a report.
After the Kremlin accused the United States of being behind a drone attack aimed at killing the Russian president, the US State Department fired back at Russia.
Since May 1st, Russia has launched more than 145 airstrikes across Ukraine. That means Russia has launched more than one missile, one drone, or bomb every hour, 24 hours a day, for 4 straight days. While Ukraine puts its air defenses to good use, Russia's cowardly attacks have still injured and killed more than 100 innocent civilians across the country in the last 3 days alone, including at least 5 children.
US intelligence officials are still trying to determine who was behind the drone incident. Agency report, Republic TV.
Ukraine's military said it had taken down one of its own drones that had lost control over the capital, but at least one other drone was reportedly shot down in another area of the city, and it was not clear whether it was Russian or Ukrainian. About 250 residents were evacuated from the slopes of Guatemala's volcano of fire as red-hot rock and ash flowed down toward an area already devastated by a deadly 2018 eruption. Firefighters said the residents of the hamlet of Panimashe were taken to shelters. Footage showed police blocking roads toward the volcano and first responders arriving. More than 1,700 people fleeing 1,700 people fighting in Sudan arrived in the Saudi port or city of Jeddah. Saudi Arabia has been ferrying evacuees across the Red Sea from Port of Sudan to Jeddah since the conflict began on April 15th. 33 nationalities, including one Saudi, were on board the ship. More than 3,000 teachers and other workers in the Oakland Unified School District went on a strike, saying the district failed to bargain in good faith on a new contract that asks for more resources for students and higher pays for employees. A 21-year-old who was a student at the University of California, Davis, until last week was arrested for allegedly committing 3 recent stabbings, including 2 that were fatal. Jurors watching Donald Trump's video deposition heard the former president deride a woman accusing him of rape as a nut job and mentally sick, and an expert estimated that Trump could have caused nearly $3 million in damage to the accuser's reputation. The final touches were being put in place ahead of the coronation of King Charles III at the weekend, with bouquets of brightly coloured flowers arriving at London's Westminster Abbey. The flowers were sourced from the 4 nations that make up the United Kingdom: England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Scores of activists and artists from across Kosovo and Serbia attended a vigil for the victims of Belgrade's school shooting. On Wednesday, a 13-year-old killed 8 fellow students and a guard at school in central Belgrade before being arrested. A federal police operation in Brazil has netted over 6,000 illegal weapons and led to at least 49 arrests since it was launched earlier this month. We're heading into a break now. After the break, we'll get you details of the statement made by Congress leader calling Bajrang Dal Ravan Sena.
तो एक हिसाब से आप सबका स्वागत है बुद्ध बनने के लिए। और जब उस अवस्था का अनुभव होता है तो आपके भीतर शांति ही होती है। भले आसपास कुछ भी गड़बड़ी हो जाए, भीतर की शांति जो है वो हिलती नहीं है।
अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों। भारत माता की।
ये चुनाव ये तय करने का चुनाव है कि अगले 5 साल तक मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में डबल इंजन सरकार कर्नाटक को आगे ले जाएगी या कांग्रेस की सरकार कर्नाटक को पीछे ले जाएगी।
में 85% कमीशन खाने वाली कांग्रेस कर्नाटका को दशकों पीछे ले जाकर गड्ढे में गाड़ देगी। ई बारिया निर्धारा बहुमत का बीजेपी सरकारा। इस बार कर्नाटका ने पूर्ण बहुमत वाली बीजेपी की फिर सरकार बनाने का निर्णय कर लिया है।
पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को ताने में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है।
बजरंग बली की
हमने भगवान श्री राम को ताने में बंद किया और अब बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताने में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया।
अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूँ। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों। बजरंग बली की, भारत माता की।
ये चुनाव ये तय करने का चुनाव है कि अगले 5 साल तक मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में डबल इंजन सरकार।
News top headlines we're tracking at this moment. No end to Bajrang Bali politics. It is the biggest election controversy in Karnataka.
Regarding banning any organization, it is not under the subject of the state government. It is only the power is with the union government. So, regarding that aspect, already Mohli has clarified everything. I don't want to intervene in that issue.
Vadra Congress anti-Hindu card backfires. Leaders question ban pitch.
Workers in Bajrang Dala, the Karyakartas in Bajrang Dala were acting like dissidents of Ravana. So Bajrang Dala was subjected to be banned once Congress comes to power.
Vadra Congress escalates anti-Hindu abuse, calls Bajrang Dal Ravan Sena now. Battle for Karnataka intensifies. Prime Minister set to hold mega rallies. Pawar play continues as Pawar's resignation is rejected. High drama ensues.
We firmly believe that there can be no justification for terrorism and it must be stopped in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism.
Jaishankar shows Pakistan the mirror, says cannot justify terror whatsoever. Hello and welcome. You're watching Republic TV this Friday afternoon. I'm Shivangi Shukla getting you the latest. And let's start off with a big breaking and updates coming in from Goa, where the SCO meeting is taking place as we speak. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has slammed Pakistan and made a very strong statement on the menace of terrorism, including cross-border terrorism. Viewers, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, in his opening remarks at the Shanghai Co-operation Organisation Foreign Ministers meeting in Goa, called out Pakistan over terrorism by saying that the cross-border terrorism must be stopped. He also stated that India firmly believes that there is no justification for terror. Remember that speaking at the SCO Foreign Ministers meeting in Goa, Jaishankar said, in a quote here,
The menace of terrorism continues unabated. We firmly believe that there is no justification for terrorism and it must be stopped in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism. Combating terrorism is one of the original mandates of SCO, and also Jaishankar said in his address that taking eyes off terrorism would be detrimental to the security interests. Viewers, let's go ahead and play out that reaction coming in from S. Jaishankar.
While the world was engaged in facing COVID and its consequences, the menace of terrorism continues unabated. Taking our eyes off this menace would be detrimental to our security interests. We firmly believe that there can be no justification for terrorism and it must be stopped in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism. The channel of finances for terrorist activities must be seized and blocked without distinction. Members need not be reminded that combating terrorism is one of the original mandates of the SCO. The unfolding situation in Afghanistan remains at the center of our attention. Our efforts should be directed towards the welfare of the Afghan people today in Goa. We welcome our new dialogue partners and hope to intensify engagement with them in the SCO format. Excellencies, India has proposed a New Delhi declaration.
All right, let's go straight to Suesha is joining us live. Suesha, you are in Goa at the SCO meeting and a very strong message coming in, Suesha, right now from the External Affairs Minister Jaishankar. He slammed Pakistan and once again said that terrorism will not be tolerated, including cross-border terrorism. Suesha.
Oh yes, absolutely. And Shivangi, let's understand that's the direct message coming in from the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, and that too in the opening remarks of the SCO Foreign Ministers meet, where without taking any names, he straight away calls out Pakistan for harboring terrorists and for exporting terrorists to our side. Because as far as India's position is concerned, he's been very clear that, there will be no talks with Pakistan unless and until they don't correct their action. And there were a lot of questions over whether there will be a bilateral between the two nations, given how Pakistan had accepted India's invite for the SCO summit and also agreed to make an in-person appearance when it came to the foreign delegation and Pakistan Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto. Now, we of course saw that body language where India is hosting the SCO Foreign Ministers meet and eventually the SCO summit. And as good hosts, we always welcome our guests, but we also make our position very, very clear. And right in his opening remarks, EAM Jaishankar calling out Pakistan, saying that there is absolutely no justification for terrorism. And when it comes to combating terrorism, India certainly leads from the front and even setting the agenda for the SCO summit. Because let's understand, Shivangi, that the 15 decisions that have to be taken as a part of this SCO Foreign Ministers meet center around countering terrorism, connectivity and regional prosperity. Now, let me also quickly tell you, Shivangi, that there's been a very poor attempt for Pakistan to really come back on this front, because far from their words, their actions are very reflective of how they continue to harbor terrorists. But it was a tweet put out by MOFA and also Bilawal Bhutto, where they said that they urge to collectively eradicate the menace of terrorism, and also putting out that quote, let's not get caught up in weaponizing terrorism for diplomatic point scoring. So like I said, that obviously, this statement cannot be taken even on face value when it comes to Pakistan, because their actions have been so reflective, especially given the several challenges that this government faced when it it comes to political stability, the economic crisis, prices skyrocketing when it comes to fuel, food, and how people are really grappling with the basics in their country. But, not only is it a part of misplaced priorities, but also the very fact that they continue to harbor terror, they continue to indulge in cross-border terrorism, and that is EAM S. Jaishankar, who called out without naming Pakistan a direct shot that India is very, very serious in its efforts of combating terrorism, and there can absolutely be no justification. So that was the word that came from him. As we understand that the very latest that the Council of Foreign Ministers are meeting, 15 decisions that need to be taken. And also, as they pave the way for the big summit in the national capital on the 3rd and 4th of July. So this has really been the continuation starting from the national security advisors of all the SCO member countries meeting, followed by the defense ministers meet, and now the foreign ministers meet. But as I tell you what is happening, this is in Goa. This is the Council of Foreign Ministers in a meeting right now, which will eventually lead into a working lunch. And eventually, after that, there will be the remaining bilaterals that are lined up for India. So we are keeping a close eye on all the developments. In fact, this evening is when EAM Jaishankar is to brief the media, and he will also be giving us a lowdown, not just on the bilaterals, but as India is paving the way for SCO. And in the words of the SCO General Secretary, who says that India is shining bright, India has been a very positive development after it turned into a full member from 2017. And secure SCO is really the motto. It is security, economy, connectivity, regional growth, environment. So that is the focus for India as we pave the way for the SCO summit.
Absolutely, Suesha. And we know that S. Jaishankar has welcomed foreign ministers from Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Russia and China for the meeting, and many more issues are being discussed, Suesha, including Afghanistan. Take our viewers through exactly what happened today and give us a brief.
Okay, so let me quickly add the other points also that were spoken by the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who went on to say that, India is really looking at the development and growth, and also focusing on the issues that Afghan women are facing. And this is about regional development, this is about regional...
All right, we have to move on right now, Suesha, because we're getting some breaking news coming in from Battleground, Karnataka, and a fresh video released by the BJP. A Congress leader there is being seen, who's campaigning in Karnataka can be seen. In fact, he can be seen now. He's the Kasaragod MP as well. He can be seen interacting with SDPI leaders, saying we are all fighting against RSS, so Muslims must not contest against Muslims and should not let the BJP win. So we're getting this update coming in, and this is the video. This is the video where you can see that a Congress leader there who is campaigning in Karnataka can be seen interacting with SDPI leaders and saying that we are all fighting against the RSS, so Muslims should not contest against Muslims and should not let the BJP win. So this is what he has said. Of course, those are the visuals coming in. Soon we'll be joined by Prajwal. But remember, viewers, that the Karnataka elections are not too far away, and as the countdown has begun already, we can see politics really heat up. Everyone is campaigning before, of course, those very crucial elections. And Prajwal is joining us live. Prajwal, take us through this video that all our viewers are seeing on their screens. Now, this is a Congress leader who's campaigning, and he's making a very controversial statement. Prajwal.
Yes, Shivangi, now we are seeing the Kasaragod MP from Congress, Rajmohan Unnita, who is campaigning for the Congress in the Dakshina Kannada and Old Mysuru region. And he's also seen speaking to the SDPI cadres there as well. And he's asking them that all of them have one objective, that is to be fighting against the RSS. So a Muslim candidate should not be contesting against a Muslim candidate, and in the larger interest Congress to make sure that the Muslims win and the BJP loses, they should ideally be voting for the Congress. So this is the sort of statement that is coming in from the Kasargod MP Rajmohan Unnitha, and he's speaking in Malayalam, and he's also speaking to the workers there. And therefore now some of them have already taken to the social media platforms as well, and they have asked the Election Commission of India to act on the Congress because this is a clear violation of the model code of conduct too, because somewhere they strongly believe that the independents are being influenced, and at the behest of the Congress, the SCPI is also pulling out candidates too, because Mohammad Ilyas Tumbe, the National General Secretary, when he spoke to Republic, also stated that at the behest of Congress leaders, they have withdrawn candidatures from over 100 assembly constituencies, because initially planned that the SCPI would be contesting in over 150 assembly constituency now, but they are being merely reduced to only 18 assembly constituencies across the entire state of Karnataka as well. So this shows that there is some sort of tacit understanding between the Congress and the SCPI, which would have been okay, but now the Congress leaders are openly coming on the streets and asking one community not to vote against their own community. So what is this is something which is now also being questioned in at this point of time.
Absolutely. And Prajwala, this video coming in as we are seeing the Bajrang Dal row explode as well. That really tells a lot about how crucial these elections are. We are seeing, in fact, politics in its full form right now. Take us through exactly if there has been any reaction coming in from the Congress on this video, which has been released by the BJP.
That is coming from the Congress party as of such, and they have remained silent. But let's not forget the fact that he is an MP from the Congress itself. He's a sitting MP from the Kasargod Lok Sabha constituency too, and this clearly shows that the SCPI at least
Hold on.
is
Prajwal, I will come back to you. I'll come back to you in just a moment. We are getting a reaction. We are getting a reaction from the BJP there. Malavika Avinash, BJP Karnataka, for joining us. Thank you for joining us here. And your first reaction coming in. Now, this is a video which has been tweeted by the BJP, a very controversial video. Congress leader there, Raj Mohan, he is making a very controversial statement.
No, the fact that the Congress party is hand in glove with the SDPI has been established over and over again. And the Congress party does not even shy away from admitting to the fact that they are willing to join hands with the SDPI, which is the political wing of the PFI. The PFI has indulged in anti-national and terror activities across the state, especially across the country, especially in Karnataka and Kerala, and hence banned under the UAPA by the government of India. And yet the Congress party continues to flirt with the SDPI, all for the sake of appeasement. This whole fake equivalence that they did of Bajrang Dal and PFI also is to be seen in the light of all of this.
Right. And what kind of reaction do you think should come from the Congress at this point of time? Because we are seeing that multiple rows are exploding. There's a Bajrang Dal controversy also erupting right now. How do you really see what is happening just before the elections?
You see, the Congress party is against the Hindus of this country, against the Hindus of Karnataka. And this manifesto that where they had said that they'd be prohibiting Bajrang Dal is an expression of that mood of the Congress party, which is anti-Hindu, anti-majoritarian, and appeasement at any cost. And the people of Karnataka have reacted to it so sharply that now the Congress is in tatters. Each leader of the Congress party has a different take on this whole Bajrang Dal matter, because now they are caught. It's a catch-22, and they are only doomed, just as they were in other parts of the country. They are doomed to lose the elections of Karnataka.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here. Malavika Avinash, BJP spokesperson from Karnataka, and she has really given her first reaction. In fact, the first reaction coming in from the BJP after this fresh video which has been released by the BJP, where you can see a Congress leader, Raj Mohan, he's campaigning in Karnataka. Remember, very few days left before that crucial Karnataka elections. We are seeing that he is interacting with SDPI leaders, saying that we are all fighting against the RSS, so Muslims must not contest against Muslims. I repeat, he said Muslims should not contest against Muslims and should not let the BJP win. Many reactions coming in right now, viewers. Let's play them out.
Congress party speaks in multiple tongues. It needs to first check with its own leadership what is its stand today. That the Congress party is against a Hindu way of life is well known. I have just enunciated how they wrote an affidavit about Prabhu Ram's very existence. Today, they now speak about banning organizations that are dedicated to the cause of uplifting communities and bringing about a sense of bonhomie in the community. So for me, again, the fact that the Congress party has gone to the Election Commission against Ram Bhakts speaks volumes about what their position is about the Hindu way of life.
That two Jawans have been martyred after a gunfight between terrorists and security forces in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri district. Very unfortunate news coming in, viewers. Two Jawans martyred after a gunfight between terrorists and security forces in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri district. According to sources, 2 to 3 terrorists are believed to be trapped in that area, viewers. So those are the visuals coming in as well. So what we are learning so far is that 2 army personnel have been martyred, and this is coming in from Rajouri, Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri district. And what we have learned from the sources is that 2 to 3 terrorists are believed to be trapped in this area. That means that the terrorists are still trapped. They have not been apprehended, or they have not been caught as of now. They are still on the run. They're still loose on the run. But in this unfortunate incident, we are learning that 2 Jawans have lost their lives. They have been martyred in Rajouri encounter. Let's go across to Gursimran, who's joining us on the phone line. Gursimran, just take us up to date. We know that in this unfortunate incident, 2 Jawans have lost their lives, but also the terrorists are still to be apprehended and caught.
This is one of the unfortunate news in the recent past that is coming, that we have lost 2 of our brave hearts, because it was 15 days prior that we lost 5 brave hearts in a deadly terror attack, and now 2 more Jawans we have lost in this encounter that has taken place in the Kandi area of the Rajouri. Actually, what has happened that the specialized unit of the Indian Army, they have got some intercepts about the movement of the terrorists. That is the satellite phone that these terrorists have operated, and based on that, a team of a hit squad of the Indian Army, that they reached the spot, and when they were climbing up to the hills, the terrorists were occupying the hills. They were already all set for the ambush, and from that ambush they opened fire, and also they hurled grenades and other explosives on the team of the Indian Army, after which 6 of our Jawans, including an officer, they suffered the injuries. They were airlifted to the command hospital in the Udhampur area of the Jammu, and where 2 of the brave hearts of the Indian Army, they have succumbed to the injuries to have attained martyrdom, making the supreme sacrifice for the Mother India, while 4 others have been injured. We are told that the Indian Army officer who got injured is out of danger as we speak to some of the senior officials in the Indian Army. The condition of the 3 that will be shared by the Indian Army in a short while from now, but an unfortunate spate of incident as the terrorists are still at large, and these terrorists are highly trained terrorists. These are the same group of the terrorists, we are told, that were possibly involved in the Dhangri terror attack, and there is a high possibility that these could be behind the Poonch terror attack as well. So these are highly trained Pakistani terrorists that are active in the area. They are well known to the demography of the area, because they have been here for more than a couple of months now. So they know that how to move, when to move and where to move, and that is why they are posing a tough challenge for the security forces. But an unfortunate incident has taken place, and as we speak, the senior officials of the Jammu and Kashmir police, including ADG Jammu Zone, he is almost 10 kilometers to the encounter site. So very soon he will be at the spot where this incident has taken place. Other senior officers of the district too have been called in. As a precautionary measure, the authorities have decided to snap the internet services in the district of Rajouri for now. There has been a complete blanket ban on the internet services for now. Yes, John.
All right, Gurusimran, thank you for getting us all the details right now. So some more updates coming in where we know that 4 people have been injured. Operations are still underway, and the 2 to 3 terrorists are believed to be trapped in that area. Let's take a very short break. Much more coming up on the other side of this very short break on India's #1 news network, Republic TV. And coming up on the other side, battle for Karnataka intensifies. Prime Minister set to hold mega rallies. Pawar play continues as Pawar's resignation is rejected. High drama ensues.
QSMTHE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
तो एक हिसाब से आप सबका स्वागत है बुद्ध बनने के लिए। और जब उस अवस्था का अनुभव होता है तो आपके भीतर शांति ही होती है। भले आसपास कुछ भी गड़बड़ी हो जाए, भीतर की शांति जो है वो हिलती नहीं है। ऐसा क्या है जो भगवान गौतम बुद्ध उन्होंने अनुभव किया और हम नहीं कर पाए?
अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों। कमीशन खाने वाली कांग्रेस कर्नाटका को दशकों पीछे ले जाकर गड्ढे में गाड़ देगी। ई बारियां निर्धारा बहुमत बीजेपी सरकारा। इस बार कर्नाटका ने पूर्ण बहुमत वाली बीजेपी की स्थिर सरकार बनाने का निर्णय कर लिया है। अगर वो मोदी को गाली देते हैं तो मैं तो इसे उपहार मानता हूं। मैं जनता जनार्दन की सेवा में अपने आप को खपाता रहूंगा। दिन रात काम करूंगा, ज्यादा काम करूंगा। आपके आशीर्वाद से सारी गालियां मिट्टी में मिल जाएगी दोस्तों।
चुनाव ये तय करने का चुनाव है कि अगले 5 साल तक
मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में डबल इंजन सरकार कर्नाटक को आगे ले जाए।
No end to Bajrangbali politics. It's the biggest election controversy in Karnataka.
Banning any organization, it is not under the subject of the state government. It is only the power is with the union government. So, regarding that aspect, already Mohli has clarified everything. I don't want to intervene in that issue.
Vadra Congress anti-Hindu card backfires. Leaders question ban pitch.
The workers in Bajrang Dala, the Karyakartas in Bajrang Dala were acting like dissidents of Ravana. So Bajrang Dala was subjected to be banned once Congress comes to power.
Vadra Congress escalates anti-Hindu abuse, calls Bajrang Dal Ravan Sena now. Battle for Karnataka intensifies. Prime Minister Modi set to hold mega rallies. Pawar play continues as Pawar's resignation is rejected by the committee.
We firmly believe that there can be no justification for terrorism and it must be stopped in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism.
Jaishankar shows Pakistan the mirror, says can't justify terror. We begin this edition of the news with some breaking news coming in from Kerala. Kerala High Court has refused to stay the film The Kerala Story. Now, a division bench comprising of Justice N. Nagesh and Justice Mohammad Nias considered a batch of petitions seeking to cancel the censor certificate of the film. Kerala High Court has refused to stay the release of the film, which is slated to be out today. In fact, the makers of the film have also agreed to alter the teaser a bit, remove the number from the teaser, is what we are getting to know. Ashwin is joining us live on this broadcast. Ashwin, what are the details of the hearing that have taken place in the Kerala High Court today? Okay, we are facing some audio trouble there, Ashwin. We'll try to reconnect with you once again. Just letting our viewers know about what has happened in the court today. The Kerala High Court has refused to stay the release of the film. The judges were considering a batch of petitions that wanted to cancel the censor certificate of the film, that wanted a stay on the release of the film that is scheduled to take place today. In fact, we also had visuals earlier of protests taking place outside movie theatres in Kerala against the screening of the film. What we know so far, as far as the case proceedings, as far as the court proceedings are concerned, is that there is no stay on the release of the film, but also the makers have also decided to remove the number 32,000 from the teaser of the film that was the teaser that was released in fact last month, that had triggered a huge controversy, especially the number, the 32,000 number in the teaser and the trailer. The number won't be there anymore. There is no stay on the release of the film so far. And moving on to other news coming in, this time from Poonch, where a cross-border smuggling racket was busted by the forces. 2 people have been apprehended. Gursimran gets us the details.
Jammu and Kashmir Police, along with the Indian Army, has foiled a narcotics smuggling bid, a module that was working on the behest of the Pakistan. The 2 porters that were working with the Indian Army and have access to the forward area have been apprehended by the Jammu and Kashmir police on the inputs shared by the Indian Army. Important to mention that the 6 kg of heroin worth more than 30 crore rupees have been recovered from their possession, and their further interrogation is underway. It is believed that they were behind the smuggling of this heroin that they were getting from the Pakistan via line of control and also into the further distribution. Thus, by busting this module, the Jammu and Kashmir police has given a tough to the Pakistan's nefarious plots that has continuously been trying to push narcotics into the Indian territory so that the future generations of the country can be destroyed. With Sarjeevan Kumar, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
We're getting these latest images from battleground Karnataka. These are pictures of BJP President JP Nadda conducting a huge road show in Raichur in Karnataka. Thousands gathering for this road show, for this show of strength for the BJP in the state, just 5 days before Karnataka goes to polls. Last mile push by the BJP and we will get in some ambient sound there from the road show as well to give our viewers a sense of the kind of campaigning that is being conducted in Karnataka. Prime Minister Modi is also scheduled to address mega rallies in the state of Karnataka in the coming few days. In fact, all eyes will also be on his two-day road show, Saturday and Sunday, in Bengaluru, where he will be conducting a huge road show as well. Right now, getting the pictures of JP Nadda's campaign in Raichur. Post this, JP Nadda would also be conducting a public meeting, a rally, will be addressing a rally in Kuknur is what we are being told, and his final rally for the day will be in Kalaburgi. These are the latest pictures we're getting of BJP's campaign in Karnataka with just 5 days to go for polls. We will have our team of reporters live from Karnataka as we beam these live pictures from Raichur of BJP's campaign. In fact, in the last few days, we've seen chief ministers of other states also coming in to Karnataka to conduct to campaign for the party. We will have Prajwal joining us on the phone line to give us more details about how BJP is planning to take forward its campaign in Karnataka. These latest pictures of JP Nadda's campaign in Raichur in Karnataka. And we will also be standing by for Prime Minister Modi's rallies in Karnataka. Just letting our viewers know about the kind of campaigns that he has. He has a rally scheduled for 2 p.m. in Bellary, and at 4:30 p.m. Prime Minister will be addressing a rally in Tumkuru. Getting you a quick check of international stories. Ukraine's military said it had taken down one of its own drones that had lost control over the capital, but at least one other drone was reportedly shot down in another area of the city, and it was not clear whether it was Russian or Ukrainian. About 250 residents were evacuated from the slopes of Guatemala's volcano of fire as red-hot rock and ash flowed down toward an area already devastated by a deadly 2018 eruption. More than 1,700 people fleeing fighting in Sudan arrived in the Saudi port of Jeddah. Saudi Arabia has been ferrying evacuees across the Red Sea from port of Sudan to Jeddah since the conflict began on April 15th. 33 nationalities, including one Saudi, were on board the ship. More than 3,000 teachers and other workers in the Oakland Unified School District went on strike, saying the district failed to bargain in good faith on a new contract that asks for more resources for students and higher pay for employees. A 21-year-old who was a student at the University of California, Davis, until last week was arrested for allegedly committing 3 recent stabbings, including 2 that were fatal. Jurors watching Donald Trump's video deposition heard the former president deride a woman accusing him of rape as a nutjob and mentally sick, and an expert estimated that Trump could have caused nearly $3 million in damage to the accuser's reputation. The final touches were being put in place ahead of the coronation of King Charles III at the weekend, with the bouquets of brightly coloured flowers arriving at London's Westminster Abbey. The flowers were sourced from the 4 nations that make up the United States, namely England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Scores of activists and artists from across Kosovo and Serbia attended a vigil for the victims of Belgrade's school shooting on Wednesday. A 13-year-old killed 8 fellow students and a guard at school in central Belgrade before being arrested. Now we're cutting across to the latest response from Kremlin, especially of the Foreign Minister Lavrov, who spoke on Putin assassination bid while he was addressing the media on the sidelines of the SCO summit. Let's listen in.
Foreign Minister of India. We know the position of India, which is in favor of stopping any provocations and any terrorist attacks. There is no doubt about this. As for the rupees, this is a problem because we accumulated billions of rupees on the accounts in the Indian banks, and we need to use this money, but for this, these rupees must be transferred in another currency, and this is being discussed now.
So that was the Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, saying that we didn't discuss the terrorist attack on Kremlin with India in detail. We know the position of India, which is stopping any provocation or any terrorist attack. There is no doubt about this. The crisis, that is the attack on Kremlin, is much deeper than what it appears. Now, this was the first response coming in from the Foreign Minister of Russia on the attack on Kremlin. As they claim that there was a bid to assassinate Putin by Ukraine when 2 drones that were aimed at the presidential residence in Kremlin were intercepted and downed by the Russian air defense system. Now, this entire thing happened on 2 days back, that is on Wednesday, post which Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister, immediately left for India, and this is his first response coming in. Before we get a reporter live on this, let's once again listen in to the Russian foreign minister's response on the alleged attack in Kremlin.
No, we didn't discuss in detail the terrorist attack against Kremlin with Foreign Minister of India. We know the position of India, which is in favor of stopping any provocations and any terrorist attacks. There is no doubt about this. As for the rupees, this is a problem because we accumulated billions of rupees on the accounts in the Indian banks, and we need to use this money, but for this, these rupees must be transferred in another currency, and this is being discussed now.
We will have Suesha joining us live. She's reporting from the SCO meeting venue in Goa, where world leaders have gathered for the meeting. In fact, this is the first response coming in from the Russian foreign minister, who had a bilateral meeting with S. Jaishankar as well earlier. What he said is that we haven't, the Russian team, the Russian side hasn't discussed this alleged terrorist attack with India in detail, but they also said that we know what India's position is. We have Suesha joining us on this broadcast. Suesha, if you can elaborate on the statement made by Sergei Lavrov on the sidelines of SCO summit. Suesha, if you can hear me, if you can elaborate on the statement made by Sergei Lavrov.